Hello, ¿cómo está? And Mayo Gabi, it is evening. Super quick, you're not going to believe half the stuff that's happening at the moment. We'll get straight in. Will and Chick, this will be very interesting to you and all those people out there that have had communications from Dixon with all the stuff that he's been sending you. I've just checked his Facebook page. And not only has he deleted the content about myself, Will and Chick, and anybody to do with the channel, Mr. Dixon has deleted his entire Facebook page. There's nothing on it. And I will prove that to you. The only thing left on his Facebook page, I mean, I didn't ask him to delete everything on his Facebook page. I mean, he's entitled to a Facebook page. I can't stop him from doing that, and I don't care if he's got a Facebook page. Just not loaded up with stuff about me and my subscribers and people that have anything to do with us. Quite happy that I couldn't care what he puts on his Facebook page as long as it's not about anything to do with me or this channel. But he's deleted the entire page, everything. Now, the only thing he's got, and here's the thing, I don't know what would possess a person to, on the very front of his Facebook page, in the description of the Facebook page, put, "I have worms." Ladies and gentlemen, if you go onto Stacey's page, on the top left-hand side, as you open the page, there's a picture of a dog with a dog collar on it. And on the left-hand side, the description is, "I have worms." Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Everything in all the different tabs, friends, all that sort of stuff, posts. The only thing he's got are 2 reels. One of the reels is happy birthday to Bill, and it's not Wild Bill because it's a picture of a young man, and happy birthday to Brenda, some woman in a red t-shirt. According to the front of his Facebook page, he has 395 friends, none of which are listed, and just a photo, the main photo of the Facebook page at the moment as it stands, as I looked at it less than 5 minutes ago, it's just a picture of the neck of a dog with a dog collar around it. But like I say, I have worms. I would tell people a lot about myself, but I don't think that I would advertise that. Like I say, the mind of Stacey is quite strange. Anyway, I'm just telling you all this so Stacey knows that I can go into his Facebook page anytime I feel like it and see his stuff. So the truth of the matter is, Stacey, you now know that I actually do have the confidence of someone that you have no idea is a backstabber who hates your guts, but you think is your number one mate. He's given me his login details to see your account. So you can't trust anybody, Stacey. And you know who I think that is, Stacey? I think it's whoever's been advising you all the way along. So you're not smart enough to do all this on yourself, on your own. Whoever is the person that's telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, I reckon they're the ones that are feeding me all the information. Because they love drama and they want to keep it going. Whoever you think that you can trust, Stacey, they're stabbing you in the back wholesale. Now listen to this very carefully. This got put to me, and I'm just going to read something to you very shortly on a legal term. You don't seem to understand what's going on here. You don't seem to understand what's going on here at all. Legally, you are up shit creek. Now, if you've been advised to do all this at the drop of a hat, and you can get away with it, and you're going to come back in a week or a month or down the track, no, I will hold you responsible. And the reason is this. Let me read this out. Now, I just got this response back from the lawyers. Now, I'll cut out all the names, but it says, your request was simple, but the answer is not. And while not spending too much time on it, I have had one of my staff dig up some information from the legal repository to give you some idea. This is the lawyer talking back to the guys at Expats. This is the New York lawyer. Yes, an employer in the US can be held responsible for an employee's actions during working hours, especially if those actions create a hostile work environment or violate anti-discrimination laws. The person targeted by the unsavory content has legal avenues for redress. Employer liability, when it applies. Under US law, employer liability for employee misconduct hinges on several factors. A, scope of employment. If the employee was acting within the scope of their job duties while posting the content, the employer may be vicariously liable. In other words, if the employee was acting within the scope of their job duties, well, he was. He was on their land in their tractor farming their fields. He was doing their job, being paid for it. So he was within the scope of their job duties, but he was doing this extracurricular activity while being paid by them. Use of employer resources. Now, this is the one. If the employer used company equipment, i.e. the combine harvester, tractor, hay baler, whatever it was, while he's been driving around the farm making these filthy videos, so that's company equipment. Or time to post the content, yeah, because obviously he's on company time because he's in the tractor ploughing the fields or doing work in the field. This strengthens the case for the employer responsibility. Knowledge and response. If the employer knew about the conduct and failed to take prompt action, they may be liable under laws like Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Well, I'm wondering, Stacey Dixon has had 3 channels already taken down by YouTube and Google. It's been up for several years. Don't tell me that they didn't know what was going on. Don't tell me that they didn't know he was on the internet doing what he was doing. Well, if they didn't know, why did he keep it hidden from them? So, they're in the shit. Social media and hostile work environment. Recent court decisions have clarified that off-duty conduct can still be actionable if it affects the workplace. And it does, because what he's done is affecting his workmates and his bosses. For example, offensive social media posts, even made outside of work hours. So while he's sitting on that property, which probably belongs to him, I don't believe that he owns that land. I don't believe that he owns that accommodation. So even outside, offensive social media posts, even made outside of work hours, which can create a hostile environment if people view or engage with them. Employers have a duty to investigate and respond about employee online behaviour that targets or harms others. Redress for the targeted individual, i.e. me. If somebody is the subject of unsavoury or harassing content, they may file a complaint with the employer under the internal harassment or conduct policies. They may pursue legal action, which is what I'm looking at here, under federal or state anti-discrimination laws if the content is severe, pervasive, and other things that goes on. Defamation or privacy claims may also be made if the content includes false statements or private information. On several occasions, he's made false statements that I am a criminal, a paedophile, a scammer, a thief, all sorts of nasty, disgusting things. So it says, if you're advising someone about the situation, it's wise to document the content, noting the timing and context, and consider consulting an attorney specialising in employment or civil rights law. Well, we've documented everything, and everything's got timestamps on it. Everything we've downloaded. So the videos have all got time, dates, and stamps on it, and it's there. So when it says it's wise to document the content, we've got the whole lot done. So that's what's available to me, folks. That's what's available to me to do. And there you go. So now, I've completely proved to Stacey that I've been into his Facebook page, 10 minutes ago. I Have Worms are his introduction to his Facebook page. He's deleted everything off his page. It was that long with that much shit on it. It wasn't funny. I didn't ask him to delete his entire page. I just said get rid of the stuff about me and about Chick and Will. If he wants to delete his entire page, that's his business. I didn't ask him to do that. He's quite entitled to a Facebook page. Blah, 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 blah. I've proved that I've just been there. The only thing on that page is under Reels, Happy Birthday Bill and Happy Birthday Brenda. The title picture is a picture of a dog with a dog collar. Well, it's not a picture of a dog, it's just the neck of the dog with a dog collar on it. And it says he's got 395 friends, all of which I think are abandoning him, or he's going to be abandoning them, because at this stage, right now, he doesn't know which one of these so-called friends is the guy that's given me access to backstab him. Poor old Stacey, it must be, his mind must be ticking over really badly, wondering who it is in his circle that is shafting him. He must be wondering. G'day, Mr. Grim Reaper. How are you? Now, there's something else here. Stacey, whoever's advising you, I suggest that you contact your good mate, the sheriff, who knows shit. He will know what's going on. You are being deluded by the fools that are sucking you in and telling you to do this stuff. They're the ones that have put you in the situation because you have been gullible and naive enough to follow their advice. You have been silly enough to think that what they're telling you to do is clever, is smart, is going to get you attention. Well, all it's going to do is get you in deep shit. Now, if they've told you, hey, just do what GD says and in a month we'll come back stronger, in a month we'll do 10 times as much damage to them somewhere else, well, let me tell you, I've already sussed that out, and that forms conspiracy. You have been advised and warned now about the ability that we have to sue your bosses for what you've done. I've just read it to you. That's the first thing. You are now totally aware of it because you complied with my request to delete it all from social media. If you come back and do it again, under the US law, I've found this out. It's been told to the lawyer, by the lawyer, that's a conspiracy, Stacey Dixon, and you will go to jail. You will go to jail for conspiracy, Stacey Dixon, because you have complied with the request to do all this once. If you come back and do it a second time, you are totally guilty. Ring the sheriff, go and see someone. Don't listen to me, but certainly stop listening to the fuckwits that are telling you all this shit because they're full of it. They're sitting there in the background telling you to do all this shit while they're safe. The minute someone comes from you, Stacey Dixon, they're going to run a fucking mile. You'll never hear from them again. They're gutless fucking cowards using you as their mouthpiece. Fucking dump them like the idiots they are because all they've done is get you and your boss in the shit. I can sue the living crap out of your bosses. What do you think they're going to do to you? You will never work as a farmhand in Arkansas again. They know everybody, right up to the state legislator. They know everybody in the farming community and the highest officers of all the things. And they know every fucking farmer of worth and all the companies that employ farmhands. You fuck with them and get them in this position, they will crucify you, Stacey Dixon. Your name will be fucking mud. You will be the biggest pariah in Arkansas. This is a family that have a young kids that they want to leave something to. And of what you do because of the ignorant bullshit that you've been told to do by these fools that they're using you as a mouthpiece, they're pulling your chain like a puppet, Stacey, and you're going along with it because you are such a lonely man in your trailer, craving attention, loving the fact that you're on the internet and people are interacting with you because you're so lonely and sad and decrepit. You want the attention. After you get out of the tractor, what do you do at night, Stacey? You got nothing. You got nobody. You got no friends. You got no life. You got nobody. So you get on the internet and you crave that these people are watching you. You haven't thought about the repercussions. Well, the repercussions are you could end up in jail for conspiracy. Like I say, I'm not making shit up here, Stacey. I don't lie. I've got no need to. I've got no fucking, what do you call it? Necessity for the drama. You're the one that's created it by listening to these fools, by letting them push you to do what they've said to do. Check. Ask somebody who's got half a brain, unlike yourself. You can barely read, Stacey. You can barely read. They have played you like a cheap fiddle. Whoever is advising you and telling you to do all this, you honestly think they're your friend? This is the position they've put you in. They've certainly put your bosses in a position where they can have the shit sued out of them. Now, with the government subsidies that they've been relying on over the last 25 years being taken away from them, how do you think they're going to fucking feel to have to fight a legal battle on top with no money coming in? If you listen to the reporters on KAL-TV in Jonesboro or wherever it is, up the road in Newport, on the local TV station, their reporters are saying that 1 in 3 farming organisations, whether it be a private farm just owned by Joe Blow or a farm corporation, a big, massive operation, 1 in 3 around the Woodruff County cotton plant area are going to go bankrupt within the next few weeks, within the next few months. That's their agricultural prediction. The subsidies have all been pulled. Now, you work with 4 other guys on that farm. How long do you think that these people can keep 5 employees going with no subsidies coming in? And if you get dumped, Stacey Dixon, that means a lot of other guys are going to get dumped. Where are you going to get another job? Farm labourers are going to be a dime a dozen. Farm labourers are going to be so easy to pick up, it's not funny. So I suggest you tell these idiots that are trying to get you to put your life into this jeopardy, I suggest you tell them to piss off. They're doing nothing but putting you in harm's way, Stacey Dixon, but they have definitely put your employers in harm's way for getting you to do what that now. And you think they don't know all this? Of course they know it. Of course they know the situation. They're not stupid. They're not stupid because they've found a fool like you, a gullible, dumb bastard like you, who is happy to go along with putting up the shit that they want to say, but are too gutless to do it because they know what's going to happen to them if they do it. And they've hidden behind the scenes and used you to do it, and you've been too dumb to see what's going on. You've been too dumb to see what's going on. Now, the fact is, Stacey, I'm not a vindictive man. You can email me if there's any other videos. You've taken the shit off your Facebook. I didn't ask you to wipe your entire page out. I asked you to take down the stuff about me and Will and Chick. Nothing else. Now, if you've done that, so I'm quite happy to take down anything about you. So if you see anything on my channel here that I've missed and taking down and you don't like up there, send me a list of that video. I will delete it. But you see, unlike the idiots that are talking to you, Stacey, I'm genuine. I'm real. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a dog bastard out to ruin your life. But if you continue to take their advice, if you continue to do what they tell you, if you continue to go along with their bullshit and be twisted by their strings, then I'm going to crucify you, Stacey. You leave me no choice. You leave me no choice. I'm being as nice as I can. The messages that I've got saying, Jeff, that is amazing that you're willing to let him go. I can sue what's left of your boss's resources and get the compensation for myself. Now, they own, well, I don't know, maybe they're mortgaged up to their hilt. Maybe they have debts up to their back teeth. I don't know. But whatever they've got is open slather for me to sue them for compensation. Now, I found out that lawyers in the United States are so cheap you can pick them up off the ground like pebbles. And that's why America is the most litigious bloody country on the face of the earth. Everybody's suing everybody else at the drop of a hat because lawyers cost nothing. It's cheap. I know that because if you look at the cost that I paid the private detective to go and do a work on the black fella in Massachusetts, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I paid this guy $175 lousy dollars, and he followed this bloke for a week for 175 miserable bucks. Lunch money, not even lunch. I spend more than that on lunch in a week. Your lawyers, your private detectives, people like that in America, they work for peanuts. You know, I found out that in Arkansas, you can stay in a motel for $150 for the month. For a month, you can stay in a motel. This is bumfuck junction, New South Wales. Casino, New South Wales. It's bumfuck junction. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're behind the black stump. Whoop whoop. The back of beyond. You can't find now we've got a number of motels here in Casino. Not one of them you can stay in for $150 for one day. One day. So when I found out that there's motels in Arkansas for $150 a month, I'm going, what? How the hell can they do that? I mean, it's ridiculous. I had no idea how cheap America is. I had no idea how cheap it was to get around America. Do you know that there are guys in Australia, you get paid a minimum wage. The absolute minimum that you can, if you've got a job, the minimum they have to pay you is like $25 an hour. If you get paid, whatever job it is, doesn't matter what industry or who you work for, whatever, whether you're male or female, the minimum you can get paid is like $25 an hour. And if they try to pay you anything less than that, they'll go to jail. They'll be shut down. They'll be crucified. But nobody would work for less than minimum wage. But in America, I hear that there are restaurants and food outlets and all. There's women working there as waitresses, and they don't get paid a dime. It's your tip that pays them. You believe that? People actually go to work hoping that other people's charity will pay their way. Are you serious? That is beyond. That's slavery. That is slavery, ladies and gentlemen. What woman would get dressed up and get in her car, pay registration and costs and tyres and maintenance and all this for her car, put petrol in it, and go to work in her nice clean clothes for the absolute prospect of not being paid a cent unless some generous person eating there is going to leave some crumbs on the table? I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my whole life. There's people over there that work for $4, $5, $6 an hour, grown men. What is wrong with your society? That is unbelievable. That's beyond slavery. Ladies and gentlemen, as what happened last night with Aaron from Ohio, came in. We had a great chat. He was telling me all about the big waterfalls that he lives in, but funny, they're not in Ohio. They're actually in Kentucky, so I don't know how he got that confused. But anyway, when he clicked the link to come into the panel, it kept flicking in and out. Like it'd be there for a second, and then it'd drop out, and then it'd be there for a second, and it'd drop out. Well, that's been happening for about the last minute with another bloke that I can see on the screen now, Mr. Ruiz Ernesto. I don't know why. It's obviously, it must be my connection then. I thought last night that it was Aaron's connection, but this guy keeps, all of a sudden he's there, then it's gone. All of a sudden it's there, then he's gone. So I don't know what's going on. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, the other night when I tried to get on my live stream, I was completely blocked out. Wayne and Robert were here. We all tried. We didn't know what the hell was going on. But remember, I always advertise live streams when I'm coming on. And when I do that, all my settings in the computer are changed. I can't get on. So that's why I just bug it around the times and don't advertise when I'm coming on again. Now, he's dropped out again. There's a blank box. So I don't know what's going on there. And the other thing is, Mr. Ruiz, look, I'm not being rude. I'm not being mean, but I don't remember you from the channel. I appreciate the fact that you've come in, but I don't know for what reason. And I'm very wary now because, and please, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not being nasty, but a couple of times this has happened when a person I'm not familiar with has come on the panel, and as soon as I let them in, a pornographic video starts playing, and you know, so I'm very wary about what I do, about who I let on, because I'm hated by a lot of people because I tell the truth. And unfortunately, in this day and age, people don't like that, Mr. Ruiz, and they target me because I tell the truth. So I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be non-inclusive. It's just I don't know what your intentions are, so I've got to be very careful. Hang on. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, he's dropped out again. So, you know, it's very difficult for me to, even though I put the link up, I'll tell you what I'll do. He's dropped out again. It's coming in for like a second or two at a time, and then it just goes blank. It just flicks and goes blank. So I don't know what's going on. Whether or not it's got something to do with the fact that they're in the background and the software holding it in the back, I don't know. I don't know how these technical things work. But does everybody remember that program, Law and Order? It's an American cop show. It's a really great program. You remember the guy, Detective Stabler? you remember the guy, Detective Stabler? Well, this guy looks like Detective Stabler. He's the spitting image of Detective Stabler, who I always thought was a real cool guy because he was always he always stood up for children. And if there were any cases about bashed children or anything like that, Detective Stabler, like me, wanted to rip the living guts out of these people. So this guy, Mr. Ruiz, looks like Detective Stabler. I'm sorry, I know I'm going off track, but there you go. Looks like a good bloke. Hey, good evening. How are you? Yeah, great to catch you again too. There he is, back again. Hang on a sec. We'll see if we can get him in. Mr. Stabler, I will have the button on, so please, I hope you're going to be... Anyway, hello, Mr. Ruiz.
Yo, what's up, GD?
Well, as I was explaining, and the reason for this, what's up is looking at Dixon's Facebook page. I don't know if you know the story about that or whatever. As I say, I'm not really familiar with you, Mr. Ruiz. Or am I forgetting? I mean, like, my short-term memory is shot the last year.
Yeah, here's the thing is you're forgetting me, but man, Will PP blocked me so long ago on your channel for just he like one time he said something and I said Wild Bill sounds like um the Northern England accent, and Will PP got offended and he blocked me, and I've never been able to comment on your channel since.
Okay. Well, the only moderator I have on the channel now is Michael Young, who currently at the moment is in the Philippines, and he's in the earthquake zone. And I'm a bit concerned about him because I haven't heard from him. I've tried
Yes.
him on WhatsApp. We generally confer on WhatsApp, but I haven't heard from him for a couple of days. So I'm a little bit worried about Michael. But he is the only moderator I've got at the moment. Will PP and I had a bit of a falling out because I don't know what it is. Look, I'm sorry to some people I come across as being arrogant and all that. I don't mean to be. I'm actually quite a nice guy, although I say that myself. You know, like ask Robert, ask Wayne, ask Grim Reaper. You know, all the people that have been to my home and shared my hospitality, and you know, ask Jeff up in the Half Moon Bay. You know, is Jeff a monster? Is he a bastard? You know, like, I've opened my home to these people. They've enjoyed a holiday with me, and you know what I mean.
Well,
I
no
don't know
problem.
what to
Just
say, you know,
Just
but yeah,
bear with me, GD. If I cut in and out, it's because I'm walking outside because my girl's trying to sleep, so I'm walking in
right,
and out of
yeah,
the house.
yeah.
Um,
Have you got some Filipino in you, Mr. Ruiz?
I mean, my girl's Filipina. I'm not Filipina.
All right. No, your accent sounds very much the same as Ariel from Marinella Holiday Farm. He's a Philam, you know, half Filipino, half American, and his accent sounds bloody near the same as yours. In fact,
No,
talking to you,
no, I'm
you could almost be mistaken that you're talking to Ariel. That's a compliment, by the way. Yeah, you're breaking up, mate. You are breaking up.
sorry. Can you hear me? I'm
Yep,
walking
got you
outside.
back now.
Yeah, I went back inside to pick up my Wi-Fi signal, but now I'm
Yep,
outside. I'm on the data. Can you hear me?
yep, yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so here's my take on it, man, is you need all the corroborating evidence you can get. So don't erase any videos. Keep everything in backup, because if you need to do anything later, you need all of those videos as corroborating evidence to strengthen your...
Oh, look, yeah. What I haven't deleted anything. All the videos with Stacey Dixon, they're all downloaded now. Everything is on Expats forums. And now I have look, and there's nothing I can do about those videos on Expats forums. Although I'm friends with them, I can make requests with them. They are a totally separate entity to me. I have no control over their content whatsoever. I am lucky to be friends with and get advice from and help from the management and the owners of Expats Forum's website. I can't tell them, do this, do that, take this down, put this up. I have absolutely no influence with them whatsoever. They put up my videos as part of their channel, and they do it with dozens of others. If everybody's been to Expats Forums, they will see that it's not just me on there. There's hundreds of people on there that that's what their website's all about. So I can take all my stuff down and hide it my way, but I certainly haven't deleted anything. And obviously, now what's happened is I'm going to let a snippet of information sneak here. I have a relative who is a clerk at the High Court of New South Wales, the highest court in New South Wales, a relative of mine who's been receiving this filth through email and other messages like Facebook. Anyway, they know their stuff, and they've also kept records of everything that they've received. Now, what's happened here is that whoever's been advising Dixon isn't as smart as they think they are, because the stuff he's been sending from his computer comes back to his original Gmail name and Yahoo name and everything else, and all the different accounts that he's got. Stacey has had, I would guess, over the last couple of years, Stacey must have had 500 or more different screen names, accounts. Minimum. You got no idea. A minimum 500 different identities. But when he uses his computer to send anything, it all comes back to the one name. Now, this relative of mine, people have rung me up and said, Jeff, why am I receiving all this filth, smut, and porn in my email and on my messenger from someone called Stacey Dixon in America? That's how dumb he is. That's how dumb he is. He doesn't realize that it's all come back to his original account.
Well, that's what happened to Wild Bill, you know. He
filed his name is all over it.
Yeah, so Wild Bill, it happened to him. He filed a complaint and they got his email address.
Well, YouTube Legal confirmed who he was and confirmed that he was the owner of the Wild Bill, the channel, but also the Miss Trans channel. You go and have a look. There's a channel up there called Miss Trans, and YouTube Legal Department confirmed to us that it was his IP address connected to both those and registered to both those under that address in what was it, Northumbria, somewhere in Northumberland. So I contacted the Northumbrian police and told them to go to that address that had stolen that person's identity. I then contacted that man and said, you need to contact Northumbria police and have this guy arrested and charged under the British cybercrime laws for stealing your identity and opening false accounts on YouTube. Yeah. And I believe that's what's happened to him, because as soon as that, within a couple of days of that, he's gone.
Yeah, I saw that. And, you know, some people say he's dead, but is he dead or did he just disappear?
Don't know, don't care. But he's gone. Now,
yeah, I agree. He's gone.
One thing about me on the internet, Mr. Ruiz, what I did, and this is the truth. For 3 years, I was an avid, rabid supporter, staunch supporter of Brian Smith and his YouTube channel. I did everything. If you know, like, I really held that guy up because
I followed it, GD. You don't even have to tell me, man. I followed it from 6 years ago with you. You don't even have to tell me.
When money came into it, now we made arrangements what to do with that 25,500 pesos. We had emails back and forth over a week to organize what to spend that money on, and he was happy as Larry.
Correct.
With our arrangement.
Correct.
Now, legally, I've found out that a contract is a contract. You know what I mean?
Right.
As soon as he got that money, it changed. As soon as he got that money, no, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You can get stuff, piss off. Yeah. Now, that's what happened. That's what happened. He got the money, and he all the arrangements about what we were going to do. Now, the money was sent to buy a generator for the fish pen, so Gabrielle had power on the fish pen. That was the arrangement.
Yep.
And we picked it out from Lazard. It was 23,500 pesos. It was all set in place, already done. And as soon as he got the money, now here's the thing. He didn't even acknowledge that he got the money. And when I sent the money on a Friday, and I immediately emailed him to say the money sent. Now, within 2 minutes of that money being accepted by LBC, you can pick it up from any LBC depot in the Philippines with the tracking number, which I sent him. It's instantly available. So he went down to LBC. Apparently, I didn't find this out till the Monday. I sent the money on the Friday morning. On the Monday morning, he sends me an email saying, I can't get the money. They won't give me the money. I said, well, you've got the tracking number. I said, why won't they give you the money? And he made some sort of excuse. I forget what it was. Anyway, then I said, okay, listen, what I'll do, I'll go back down to the LBC depot here where I sent it from, and I'll tell them I want my money back. Within 10 minutes, he sent me an email saying, oh, I've got it. There's no way he was going to let me take it back. So anyway, I waited a month. I waited a full month for him to show on his YouTube channel what he'd done with the money. Nothing, not a word, not a single mention. And this is what I thought, what? We've made an agreement. I'll send him this money. This is what he's going to spend it on, blah, 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 blah. Now, I said to him, you don't have to name me. And this is, look, I said, you don't have to name me on your channel. Just if you do make a video about the money, just say, you know, a generous donor has solved the problem for the power on the fish pan, and we've made arrangements that I'm going to buy this generator and Gabrielle's going to have power. That was it. I waited a month to see this video. In that month, he went out to the fish pen 3 or 4 times. Not a mention of the fact that a donor had sent him the money to solve the power problem on the fish pen. Not a word, whether it was in my name or an anonymous donor. Nothing.
Because then he can't double dip off other people. If he says you sent him money.
Thank you, because that's exactly what I started to think. Because in the meantime, he's still raving on about the problem. And I'm thinking, why doesn't he tell anybody that the money's been sent? He doesn't need to ask for any more help on that particular situation. But no, it's like the pig scam. When he kept selling pigs over and over and over. You know, he sold one pig like 30 times and got the money 30 times. You know, the guy never once acknowledged anything. So after a month, I sent him an email and I said, Brian, what's the story? What, you know, I haven't seen you do a video or do anything. And, you know, you've been in and out of the fish pen a number of times, but I haven't heard you say anything to the channel that you've received that money, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the funny thing. At that particular time, Jason had gone back to Canada for some reason or other. Now, if you look at it objectively, him and Jason were partners. Objectively, half that money was Jason's because it was for the fish pen. Now, in the end, he turns around and he makes a video a month later, or more than a month later, saying that he bought one solar panel and one small controller from Lazada for 1,300 or for 13,000 pesos. The same solar panel and the same controller that I could have got for 5,000 pesos.
Oh man, this
and
is
no mention of the other 15 or 14,500 pesos. Not a word ever. And there's still, to this day, has never been an explanation as to what he spent the other half of that money on. And still Jason never got a penny of it, although they were partners. But the thing is, because I sent him his email to ask what was going on, he then goes on his channel and tells everybody that GD Mead is an arsehole who sent him a gift and is now demanding the money back.
Yeah.
I never asked him for the money back ever. He realized that this was a contentious matter, that this guy has been supporting him all this time, is now questioning what he's doing with the money. So he made a bullshit story up, and then he made a bullshit video about going down to Western Union
and
to send the money back.
Sending your money back. I saw that video they did.
And then he said he didn't have the right. Why didn't he just go to LBC? He picked it up from LBC. They had all the details, but no, that's too easy. for the man who has to micromanage everything because he's got this massive, intelligent 160 IQ, all he had to do was go back to where he got it from, LBC, and send it back through LBC. If he got it from LBC, surely he could send it back through LBC. But why he went to Western Union, and then it came out that he'd been banned from Western Union. And the reason he had been banned from Western Union, he was under, I found this out because I ran Western Union.
Man.
And they
What
told
a
me that he was
flunker.
he was under investigation for the staggering amount of money that's been sent to him in the Philippines. Yet, hang on,
Right.
here he is crying poor.
Yeah.
No, but this is the start of the no budget. But he'd been banned off Western Union because he had way exceeded the tax threshold that anybody can have using Western Union. It gets to a certain point where you've then got to start showing them tax records as to where all his money's going.
Yeah. And there's other ways he could have gotten that money back to you.
Yeah.
Everybody has your address already, right? He could cut a check and send it to your address. You've been putting your address out for ages. So he could just cut a check and send it to you, or, a Western Union money order and send it to you. There's other ways to get it to you. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Look, once it came down to money, this guy started to show his true colors. And then he thought, just moving on to what I started off with, then he thought that he could abuse me, tell his channel that I'm an arsehole, that, he's the big man and I'm full of shit and I'm trying to control his life and tell him what to do and tell him how to live. No, that wasn't the case at all. I never did any of that. I sent him money to pay for what we agreed that the money to be spent on to help support him.
Correct. And if the agreement changes, he needs to call you and say, "Hey, GD,
well,
is it
his
okay if I
reaction,
purchase solar instead of a generator?" He needs to
yeah.
call you and ask you and get your approval for your
Well,
money that
no,
you
I mean,
sent.
it wouldn't worry me. It wouldn't worry me what he did, really, but it would have been nice to get some sort of, information. But a month later, after picking up the money, not a word, not a word, nothing.
Yeah.
And like I say, and you immediately had the same conclusion as I did. He was double dipping. How many other people? And now here's the thing about Brian Smith. He knows that people are generous. That's why he started the church business. As soon as you start talking God, people open their purse strings. That's Tintin.
Yep.
Immediately, once all the donations dried up because we exposed his bloody thievery from all the donations coming in for the poor people. Oh shit, the money's drying up. How do I get the money back? I'll open a church.
Yeah.
Shit, if I open a church, I'm going to need someone, a priest or a minister. Tell you what, Beth's brother. So he gets Beth's brother, Timio. Timio, I am Terence Martin Flannery. I'm waving my hand around because I'm God. You are now a ordained minister. You're going to run my church here in the Philippines.
Are you putting a spell on me right now, GD?
No, he pulled Timio out and said, "Well, I need someone I can trust to fleece these people. Who better than my brother-in-law?"
Yeah, these are the idiots that blessed Terrence and Beth's truck. Remember, that Timio is the one that blessed Barron's.
So by the grace of Terence Martin Flannery, Timio became Pastor Timio. And that con has been ongoing. I mean, it's beyond a joke. It's beyond a joke.
Yeah.
Now, we discovered, I can't remember all the details because it's so long ago, but somebody, and I can't remember who it was through Leto, whose actual name is Anacleto Iana, the real estate guy that did all the videos for Boss Hog. And it was through Leto that we got information that Boss Hog, Tintin was laundering all his donation money as a genuine through the church, laundering it. I don't know the details now, but he was using that church to launder donated money to the poor to put in his own accounts.
So that he wouldn't look like he's collecting the money as an unregistered charity?
Yeah, it was going to the church,
I
which
see.
was his private bank account anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Unbelievable. But
Oh, dude, they would be cooked so fast in the U.S. for doing
yeah.
that. But
Well, Smith decided to go onto his YouTube channel, call me all the names under the sun, and block me, thinking, that's it. I've gotten rid of GD Mead. Unfortunately, he doesn't know what a pit bull is. And a pit bull is a very, very strong-mouthed dog, which I don't mind being called, that once it bites your ankle, it doesn't let go.
right, the
If a
lockjaw.
pit bull
They
bites
have
your ankle,
lockjaw.
it doesn't let go till it gets what it wants.
Yeah, you have to pry their jaws open.
And he thought that by blocking me on his YouTube channel, that would be the end of me. So I thought to myself, no, this is bullshit. So what happened is I didn't know how to, I had no idea. I had no idea about YouTube for me. I knew how to log into somebody else's channel. I had no idea how to do it. I'm not a tech head. So a really great Kiwi mate of mine, Dan Rusin, while he was in he's now a successful businessman in Cebu. He started up my YouTube channel, and that's how it took off. And I've never given up. I was screwed over, treated like shit after I generously gave a guy money and help and advice, and he just shit on me. Not a good thing to do. I don't like being shit on by anybody, especially when I put my hand out and my bank account out to help them. And if that's how they turn around and that's how they think they're going to treat me and get away with it, they've got another fucking thing coming. That's what Boss, because of his error, he's a narcissistic, egotistical, arrogant prick. And he thought that he could just dump me by the wayside, spit on me, and I'd fall by the way, and it'd all be good. Now, when he did that, his YouTube channel was earning 200,000 pesos a month.
Yep. Yeah.
By the time we finished with him last month, his YouTube channel wasn't earning 100 pesos.
It's dead. Even if he brings his channel back, GD, it's dead. It's dead. Even if he starts making videos again, it will still be dead. It will never come back. Even if
his credibility's gone. And now here's the thing. He closed the channel. What he said in his last video about, this is our last video, he closed that channel because he realized we were that close to having him deported. He realized that by admitting that he's working in that business, he's giving immigration every reason to come and deport him for not having a 9G. By admitting that he worked there with no 9G visa, he's putting his Isawa Maricel at risk of being in breach of the anti-dummy laws, hiring a foreigner to work in her business without the correct documents. He realized that he was putting his foot in it. But the icing on the cake was Tony Peake, another American citizen in the Philippines, making videos and confirming that he was working there. He realized, oh shit. It can't be denied now. I can't make up stories to say that I don't work there. The videos by Commander Dayot. Now, Commander Dayot has 244,000 subscribers. And while he was in Bohol at Boss Hogg's restaurant, he was doing a travel log around Bohol about the attractions of Bohol and doing video after video of all the places he went and did. Why is there not a single mention anywhere on his Facebook, on his YouTube, on his Instagram, anywhere? Not a single comment, nothing about Brian Smith and the day he spent at that restaurant. Not a word. I'll tell you why. Because he was bombarded with people saying, not a good look, Commander. He's a con man and a cheat. Not a good look. And the thing is, Commander Dayot has a number of sponsors that sponsor his channel, and they're not going to be sponsoring his channel much longer if they see that he's in cahoots with a known grifter, a person who has fled from justice, from the courts in Nevada, and the courts in California for outstanding debts. He's got warrants out for his arrest in both those areas for failure to appear to answer charges against him. And that's why everything is in Maricel's name, because if he applied to get the clearances that he needs to get a business in his own name, all this would come up. The Philippines authorities would have no choice but to go in there and grab him and put him on a plane and kick his ass out.
Yeah.
You and I can go to the Philippines today and open our own business, no problem at all, because we are not wanted criminals back in the United States or England or France or Australia or anywhere else. Why didn't he open this business? Carno's was always his dream. It was always his desire and want to open a restaurant, not Maricel's. She never came on to her channel at any time ever in the history of them making videos and saying, oh, I really want to open a Filipino-American themed restaurant. Never, not once. It was always his dream. So why didn't he do it? Because he hasn't got the legal standing to be able to get the required paperwork to do it. That's why. It's as simple as that. There is no way under the sun legally in any way, shape or form he got a bona fide fire permit for that place. I know this. I've got friends in business there who have gas appliances, and it's a very strict, you can't just have all your gas hooked up with rubber hose. Some of it's just garden hose with ordinary pipe clips. It's got to be fixed steel lines with steel fucking connections. He's just got garden hose with hose clips. There is no way he's getting a fire permit for that. That business is illegal.
Yeah. I mean, what you have to realize, let me just say a few things here, GD. What you have to realize is Brian Smith has found out he finds out like little loopholes or little shortcomings in the law, or he finds out things that people aren't enforcing, or he finds out way to skirt the law and try to do it through a loophole instead of just doing things right. And he's been doing that his whole life because Brian Smith thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He always thinks he's smarter than everybody else and that he can outsmart everybody. And unfortunately, you can see where that's got him. He's been through 40 different jobs. He's obviously been hired at jobs where people just fire him and let him go. And it's not the employer, okay?
Yeah.
I can understand people having 2, 3, 4 different jobs and it wasn't their issue. But when you lose 40 different jobs, and it's because it's you are the problem.
Yeah.
And this has been his whole life, where he
Yeah.
thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He can do what he wants. He can skirt the law. He can find little like inconsistencies in the law or like little loopholes that he can slide into and stay undercover. But it does end up catching him, and then he has to move on to the next one, to the next little inconsistency in the law. And he just keeps like sliming through like a snake, and he keeps going. But the problem is what he's done in the Philippines now is it only takes of a 100 viewers for him to make it there in the Philippines. It only takes 1 out of 100 people to send him some money. And it unfortunately that's what happens. There's 1 out of 100 people that's just gullible, believes his Christian babble, and they send him money.
Yeah. I have always been of the opinion, and I have no reason to doubt my opinion after seeing the video that Tintin put out himself, after Flannery put it out himself. When he built the first house in Telebon, he built this massive shed, like a warehouse. It was 6 meters long by 6 meters wide and probably 4 meters high. And it was packed solid with ballot buying boxes. There must have been 300-400 ballot buying boxes in there, packed solid to the roof. You couldn't get a fart in there. It was packed solid.
Yeah.
What's he doing with all that stuff? Don't tell me he hasn't got an UK store. Yes, he has, but I'll guarantee that it's not on Behold because it's too close to home. I'll bet you that they've got an UK store somewhere in Cebu. I'll bet you.
Let me ask you something. Do you have to pay taxes on like buy-on boxes? Do you have to pay like a certain tax on the value of the goods that are sent?
The law says that if you are allowed to receive 3 ballot buy-on boxes per year, and the value once the value of your ballot buy-on boxes exceeds 150,000 pesos, you have to pay tax. I've
Do you
seen
think
ballot
that's
buy-on.
why? Do you think that's why he requested that people don't send those boxes anymore? Because he couldn't afford the taxes?
No, that was just a bullshit plea. Look, the only reason that we're not seeing it is because he's not filming it. Of course, they're still
Oh,
sending it to him. The suckers are still sending it to him. The suckers are still sending him money by Patreon account and all that sort of stuff. Of course they are. He's just not advertising it. He is still the greatest of mates with Jason. We just don't see it on video. He is still the
interesting.
greatest of mates with Tintin. We just don't see it on video. But what I can tell you, and this is, look, I've got no reason to lie. I have a friend who is a channel member and has been a channel member for a long time. And I get a lot of information from the lady that I wouldn't call a partner, but he's got a lady friend in Taliban who sees Maricel on a regular basis. I don't know if you could call them friends or acquaintances, but she sends a lot of information about what's going on. Now, it's because of that we know that the restaurant is just a prop. It always was. As soon as he started making those videos, I said to the channel, he's going to do this place up. He's going to use whatever money he's sucked out of whoever, and I don't believe it's Rizzuto. Rizzuto's skank slag from Badjow has sucked all his money, and there's no way she's going to let him give whatever money she's got to Smith. She knows Smith's a loser. There's no way that she was going to let Rizzuto give him millions of pesos. That wasn't happening. So Rizzuto's not the money man. There's no way a Filipino woman is going to allow her partner or husband to hand over millions of pesos to some deadbeat loser.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that Rizzuto is the money man. Anyway, that business is a prop. I said he's going to do it up, he's going to ply it up, and then he's going to sell it. Within 2 or 3 days of him supposedly opening the place, that the only people you see in there are people on Maricel's Facebook friend list, okay?
Yeah.
Commander Dayot and Tony Peake, an American in the Philippines, who's now gone dark, completely dark. And it's come back to bite him because Smith now knows, oh shit, it's now public that I'm working there. There's an American here in Behold that the immigration could go and see. He's not going to lie for me. He's and they're going to say, listen, you put a video up on YouTube to say that Brian Smith is working as an employee in this restaurant. Is that true? And if immigration go to Tony Peake, because we're hammering him, and that's why I want everybody to look at expats forums and go to the complaint page and the report page and report him. He's working illegally. And I said to Tony Peake, an American guy in the Philippines on his channel, I said, are you telling people to go and support a business that's operating illegally? Is that what you're putting your name to, Mr. Peake? Because that's in effect what he's doing.
Yeah.
Brian Smith is working in that business illegally. He's not allowed to. You can't break immigration law just because you are a fat slob. He's completely breaking all the terms and conditions of whatever visa he's got to stay in the Philippines. He's got no work permit. End of story. So if he is working in that restaurant, he is working illegally. His wife is condoning that. So therefore, she's guilty of breaking the anti-dummy laws. And he knows that she can go to prison. He can go to prison. Huge fines for both of them. And the end of upshot is he's deported. So that's why we haven't seen this American guy go back there. He's shit scared. He doesn't want to be involved. He's now realised that he's gotten mixed up with a pack of shit. Commander Dayot has run a mile from this guy. Not a fucking word. Not a fucking word. And the comments from people that have swamped a few of his videos to say, what's the story with you and Brian Smith, all being deleted. He has totally bloody run a mile from Brian Smith. What does that tell you?
That tells you, that tells you that they don't want to be involved with him because they don't want to get involved in his mess.
Yeah. Simon Bar Sinister. This again, I've been watching the comments that you're putting up. Very apt and you seem to know exactly what you're talking about, the situation. I don't know who Simon Bar Sinister is. This is a completely new screen name on me, but the comments that you've been putting up tonight are very well informed. So thank you, whoever you are. I'm quite surprised at the level of knowledge this guy has.
Hey, GD, while we have a break, would you unblock my name so I can comment on your live stream, please?
But you're on my live stream right now.
No, I'm on your panel, but I can't, when I comment in your comments on the live stream, it doesn't come up. I can join your panel and you can accept me, but I can't type in text messages if I'm not on the panel.
Have you got any other screen name? Because I'll tell you what's here. I've only got I've just gone into it now where it says guests and it says banned guests. So if a lot of people are banned because they've used their original screen name and that's been banned. So listen to what I've got. If you're one of these, I can untick it. But these are the only ones I've got. I've got William Young, Luke Mihas, Mary Therese Sitoy Cho, Vincent Tuff, Andy, Mountain Man Show, Inway Global, David Elmore, Tom Wills, Barry Jones, Tony, CW, Sam Jones, Rob Mackay, Jazzy, Bill, Erdolf Hakel, D-High S, Stacey Dixon, Colorado Farmer. That's all that's in the banned list. That's all that's in this under the settings tab of StreamYard, where it says banned guest. That's it.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. I mean, I was just telling you, like for the past 2 days, you've been doing live streams.
Now. Just put a comment in now. Just write test.
Do I have to back out of the studio to get back?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
All right, one second. Let me back out and I'll come back in.
Okay. Well, there you go. Simon Bar Sinister, interfering with Filipino opportunities. A Bureau of Immigration orders in a similar case stated that foreigners intervening in business reserved for Filipinos can be considered undesirable aliens and can be deported. Yeah, exactly. You're completely right. Look, we have approached immigration with so many different videos, with links, with documents, you name it. His own channel, he's posted using fake names to get a fake immigration document. We've proved it. If immigration look up is the derivative of his name. Now, on his passport, Granville is spelled Granville.
Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag.
Yeah, and that's on his passport. That's what his passport says, Ville. But the document he got for his residency is immigration card is VIL. So we looked it up under Truth Finder America. Expats Forums lawyers did it. There is a guy in America called Brian Granville VIL Smith. And when you look him up, he's squeaky clean. Nothing. But when you look
up, it had double L, right? It was just missing the E on the end.
No, one L and one E. The Philippines is like everybody else. You have one mistake on your document, it's null and void. One letter out, whatever. They go mental over it. You can't do it.
Well, so why didn't he get that changed? If my documents are wrong, I'm down the next day fixing those things, right? He doesn't give a shit.
Well, why has he never bothered fixing it? And why is Maricel, now just recently, I will give this to Doc Lowe, Robert Taylor on Expat Scammers. They picked up the fact that while he was holding up a permit, that her birth date was 1970.
Exactly, dude. That one is like unbelievable, right? That one is unbelievable. And then he was told about it on his live stream. He goes, "Love, did you know that your birth date says 1970?" And she goes, "No, you want to see my ID?" And I was hoping she would show her ID, but never did. But here's
Mm.
the thing, when that stuff is wrong, you go and fix it immediately because you don't have to fix it. Literally, you just go to those people you paid and you said, "Listen, folks, you got this wrong. Unfortunately, you made an error, so you need to fix it."
Yep.
So fix it. And he doesn't have to do anything. They will do everything for him, but he does not care. He does not want to fix it because he knows it's
Yeah.
fugazi.
I can't understand what the corrupt association he has with Mayor Janet Garcia at Bohol. Why is she allowing him to operate as he's operating? Now, we've sent her video clips of him accepting cash money in the Jollibee car park at 11 o'clock at night for fish sales. And we've said, what taxes is he paying the barangay? What taxes is he paying the municipality? Nothing. Why? You go to his video channel and he's doing cost and loss videos in the millions of pesos. Go and have a look at his first cost effective video about the fish pen. They had a what was it, a 2 million peso loss or something. But he's regularly done videos that this month it was 2 million for this, 1 million for that. Not one time ever in anything has he ever mentioned tax. We've sent all this information to Philtax in the Philippines. Nothing. They've done nothing.
Yeah.
Why?
I, I mean, that's the point is Boss Hog knows nobody in the government is going to do anything. That it's so corrupt. And even if somebody comes through and checks him, he knows he just has to pay, 4,000, 5,000 pesos, and then it goes away.
I showed the staff at Talabon Municipal Hall in the mayor's office. Apparently, she was in Manila attending a conference about the water table on Bohol. It's that sensitive, it's not funny. So him dumping tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of litres of polluted water all over the place from the piggery is not a good thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
I showed them the video of him sitting there telling everybody on his YouTube channel that Filipino officials are a bunch of lazy fat fucks who can't get off their ass and do their jobs.
Or
He made the
well,
video.
it's more like they'll be glad to take money to
Yeah,
not do their
they
job.
all sat there
They'll
and they all
yeah.
sat there and they all go, "Who is this man? Who does he think he is? This is terrible. I am so offended. We're going to do something." Nothing was done. They're full of shit.
No,
That is
no.
one thing that he said that's true. Filipino officials, they're lazy fat fucks who won't get off their ass and do their job. I totally agree with them because I have put the proof in front of them. When I was in Talabon Municipal Hall, I went to the heads of departments. I went to the chief engineer. I went to the fishery. I went to everybody, the top guy in each department, and said, "Brian Smith has no permit for this, no permit for that, no permit for the other. Check." And they all checked. They ran around like blue-ass flies in the computer and their files. And they came back to me and they all said, "You're right, Mr. Mead. We haven't got a damn thing on this prick anywhere. He's got nothing. We're going to go out there tomorrow morning and every one of these violations is 50,000 pesos." And the well, his house, Tatai's house, the fish pens, the piggery, that was 5 violations on its own. He said, "Well, there's 250,000 pesos to start." They never did a thing. They did nothing. They promised me that they were going to take him to task. I come back to Australia thinking, right, he's done. They didn't do a thing. Why? Why? Why is Mayor Garcia, who may be hot shit in Talabon, but like I say, in Makati, she's nothing. She's just a minor official from the provinces. Yeah, sure. A long time back, her father was the president of the Philippines. So fucking what? He's dead now. So what? He was a president a long time ago. That's got nothing to do with shit today. What is it that she is so bulletproof that she can protect him. Now, she's on the board of the local university that gave him free labor. How can she do that? How can she do that? She gave him 2 fucking students from the college to work on his farm for free. Yeah, she entered into a contract with him.
And then he
I've done it.
collected, bonus money from subscribers and said he was going to give it to them, and he never gave it to them.
I mean, it has gotten beyond the joke, the rorts and the bullshit that he's into. It's just unbelievable. I just can't understand how he gets away with it.
Yeah.
But like we have sent so much information from his own channel, from his own records. Him sitting there, 100,000 for this, 200 that, $1 million for this, $1 million for that, to the tax department. Nothing. They've done nothing.
They don't have the infrastructure like Western countries do. They don't have investigators enough. The reports you sent in were probably one of 1,000 sitting on their desk, backed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't have the infrastructure to chase down all these leads and run every lead to ground. And they're just overwhelmed. So if someone will just offer them money and they can just sign something and get it out of their stack real quick, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you see the conversation going between Simon Bar Sinister and Vito Corleone.
I can't see any of these things because I'm in the studio.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, so you can't see what's on the screen?
No, I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat.
But what about what's up on the screen? Can you see?
I can see
you. You can obviously. Can you see the bottom of the screen where I've got up Simon's comment?
I can. Sorry, let me see that one. Hang on. But Vito the restaurant is in Love's name, but he says it's his restaurant. I agree.
That was an answer to this comment.
Gotcha.
Hang on. Simon, having a residence ACR makes it easy to run a business with a tax number. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Why didn't he? He says that he's got an ACR card. I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that he's got a genuine visa. I don't believe that at all. And if he got a genuine visa, how did he get that off a false name? Because he's got a false document from immigration. It's there. I mean, he even had the stupidity and the balls to show it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen all that. I've seen all that court mess he's got going on in California. There's just no way you can get a visa. You have to get an FBI clearance sometimes. Like, you have to get all kinds of clearances sometimes. And for visas in foreign countries.
Yeah, if you go to expat forums, you can see the liens out from the California court against him right now. And it describes the charge that he had no permit to solicit people while he parked his ice cream vans on the side of the road. He had no permit to run that business. He had no permit to sell ice cream out of vans on the side of the road. And they ordered.
He got a ticket for it.
Now, he ran up a huge debt to his creditors. Must have been whoever he's buying the ice cream off. So the court ordered that he hand in his assets so they could be sold to pay his creditors. What he did, and we've got a copy, we've done a video, he put an ad in the fucking local paper for his Sri Junker clunker fucking vans for $10,000, sold them and fled off, pissed off to the Philippines. And when he lands there, he makes a video saying he's got 60,000 US dollars in his pocket. What?
Yeah.
He just scummed out of California after leaving all these creditors in the shit with all this money in his pocket. How did he get that money out of the country? Someone's, like everything to do with Brian Smith is a con, a cheat, a law-breaking, grifting fucking situation. There is nothing fucking honest about this bloke. He's a con man all the way down the line.
I agree. And there's a million ways to hide money here. You can put it in your brother's bank account. You can put it in your sister's bank account. And then they can send it to you. There's 100 ways to hide money in like a bankruptcy or if you owe money to the government. There's many, but you need an accomplice. You can't do it by yourself unless you're using fake names. But
he's got one. Tintin, look, when he arrived, Tintin makes this fucking video I mean, this is the bullshit of it. These two are just such liars. It's not funny. Tintin makes a video saying, oh, there's a new guy in town. We're going to go and meet him. His name's Brian Smith. And he makes this video that he's rolled up there and he just met this guy for the first time and blah, 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 blah. And Smith goes, and you'd think that, you know, the two guys just bumped into each other. 3 or 4 months later, Smith makes a video to say how he's got a ballot buying box full of stuff. He's just gone down to Tintin's place and picked it up because he sent it to him 2 years ago and he's been sending all his stuff to Tintin, who's been his mate in California for years.
Yeah, he knew Tintin beforehand. We all know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
I mean, the lies between these two, they're so, the lies, just, now, but Brian Smith, his ego is so big that Brian Smith will tell you one thing today and then he just completely, utterly and totally wipes it. You'll never hear him talk about it again. And he thinks that because he's never referred to it again, everybody's forgotten it. I don't forget.
Yeah.
You know, the lie about owning the property. I knew there is no way. He said in a video a long time ago that they bought that property for $12,000 US. Even then, back in 2017 or 18, there's no way you'd buy that. Even in Bumfuck Junction Telebond, there's no way $12,000 was buying that property. But then he makes a video, and it's there. It's still there now. This is the lies of this bloke, and he quite clearly. Anybody watching it, and that's why I did. I took a thing and put it up, and he's quite clearly sits there and he tells everybody to never buy land. It's a waste of time. And in the Philippines, the best thing you can do is rent it on a 25-year basis. He said, I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, but that's what I've done here with Marisol. And that's the best option for anybody that comes here is to do what I've done and lease it back off your Asava for 25 years. And he said, that's what I've done here with Marisol.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago. The video was posted 6 years ago. It's still on his thing. It's still sitting there. But now in the last, about 2 years ago, he started saying that I own it, I bought it, and I'm selling bits of it. Well, hang on. He's supposed to have sold 2 chunks of that farm.
Which is a lie.
But, well, where's the persons that bought it? What? You don't
That's
buy,
a lie.
no,
that's a lie.
He said that it was bought by somebody in Manila.
Yeah,
Nobody in Manila. No Filipino buys land and just lets it sit there.
Yeah. And he said that, I remember, GD, he said the guy was going to come build on it, that he was going to come build a little place on it. I remember specifically. And on his live streams, he was asked, where is this person? Where is this guy that you sold the land to? He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. And first of all, if he's leased the land, he can't sell it, right? Because somebody else owns the land. He can't sell portions off. So now he's changed his whole story saying now he's sold land. That means he would have had to bought the land to sell pieces of it.
Okay. All right.
Ernesto,
I just see this comment from Simon here. Give me a second if I go into the list on YouTube. I've checked the list on.
Yeah. Go into YouTube.
I'll see if I can see your name. Just give me a second because once I go out of the screen, I can't see what's going on. So I can still hear you, but yeah. So just give me a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And if anybody else there is thinking that they're blocked, please put your name up in the comment section and I will look to see.
But if they're blocked,
if your name's
if they're
there,
blocked, they can't put their name. If they're blocked, they can't put their name in the comment section.
Oh, yeah. No, here on YouTube, here on StreamYards. If they think they're blocked on YouTube, put your name in the comment section on StreamYard here. You're not blocked on StreamYard.
Oh.
Let me just go into YouTube and check that. Let me just go into YouTube and see if Ernesto Ruiz is blocked on YouTube. Just give me a second, mate. I can still hear you, but I'm out of the screen.
Okay.
So I'm going to my channel now. I'm in View Your Channel YouTube Studio. And then it's got settings. And then it's got community moderation. Block words. No, that's not it. User management. Approved users. Here we go. Okay. So let me have a look. I'm looking for Ernesto Ruiz. There's quite a list here, so give me a second.
Yeah.
There is quite a list here. I'm just scrolling down it. Most of them are Stacey Dixon's non-deplumes. He's got hundreds and hundreds of different screen names, literally hundreds. It's not funny. So far, nothing. So far, I'm just scrolling down. There's so many. It's not funny. I've got Luis Gerardo. No. Yeah. No. And then as is extended. So let's have a look here. I'm still going. Just let me scroll down.
No problem.
I didn't realize there were so many people in this block list. There's no Enrique Ruiz so far. Have you got any other name that you might have come in on?
It should be under Ernesto, not Enrique.
Sorry, Ernesto. Yeah, Ernesto Ruiz. No, I'm going down. Still nothing. No.
I put hello in the comments on your chat on the regular YouTube. So if you didn't see it, I'm still blocked.
Right. Well, that's weird because I don't know what's going on here. I'm nearly at the bottom and I haven't seen it yet. Hang on, it must be, unless it's right at the very bottom. Ernesto Ruiz, nothing. Hang on. Still going. I've got different versions of Stacey Dixon
I'm
on
telling
every
you, it
line.
was that Will PP that blocked me because I was commenting under Ernesto Ruiz.
Yeah.
And I said something when Wild Bill was talking. I'm like, that is a Northern England accent you got, Wild Bill. And then I started saying stuff like, those people in Northern England are idiots. And then Will PP got offended. He's like, I have relatives that live in Northern England. How dare you talk about people from Northern England like that?
Nah.
And he got all offended and he blocked me. And I didn't say anything about Will PP.
I've been through the whole lot, mate, and your name's not there. It's not in the StreamYard or the YouTube list. Mate, I'm not technical. I don't know. If anybody else out there can think of something, let me know.
It's no problem. I'm not going to belabor the point. It's fine. I can still talk to you here on.
Well, you can always come in there. I know I'm quite happy to bring in any time we do a live stream. It's not a problem. Etta, if I could just, Etta, according to the birth certificate, according to the permit that Smith held up and showed the channel for one of the permits, her birth date was 1970.
Exactly. We all saw it. Yeah. It's all over.
They're now denying it. So that means that the document that refers to is invalid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because in the Philippines, if the document's printed incorrectly or has incorrect details, it means it's worth nothing. So why didn't they get it changed? If it's not her birthday, then why didn't they get it changed and get it done? Now they're aware of it, they know about it. So why didn't they do something about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it defies logic. Now, here's the other thing, Etta.
I think it's correct, though. I think the documents are correct. They don't have to change anything. I think they're just lying about Maricel's age, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the other thing. A very important point about that. Everybody. Now, I know this for a fact because it happened to somebody we know very close. If you are a woman who has a child over the age of 35, the first child, it is very likely that that child will suffer some sort of a disability. And we all know that Charlie, unfortunately, he's what they call in the Philippines a PWD, a person with disabilities. That child is obviously developmentally challenged. I don't mean that to be nasty. I don't mean that to be mean or hateful towards the child. It's just a fact. The kid is nearly 6 years of age, still in nappies or diapers, whatever you want to call them. He can't articulate. He is just away in his own fairyland. That kid obviously has intellectual disabilities. I'm sorry about that. Everybody knows out there I would never wish harm on a kid, so I'm not saying this in a detrimental way at all. The fact of the matter is that kid has problems. What pisses me off is that they've done nothing to help that kid. Now, if that was my kid, I would have him down to a pediatrician. I'd get a specialist in to have a look at him, whatever. But they aren't even acknowledging the fact that he needs help. It's so obvious to everybody who takes one look at that kid that he needs help. When Brevis was there, I'm not going to repeat what he had to say, but I mean, unbelievable what he had to say about that kid. That kid is an out of control, and they do nothing.
Well,
But they have,
GD, when you're as dumb as Brian Smith is, Charlie seems smart to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's comparing Charlie to his intellect, and
yeah,
to,
yeah,
to him,
yeah.
Charlie's very smart. It's all
No,
relative. It's
Poncho.
all relative to who you're comparing Charlie to.
Yeah. Now what's this? I had to go back to Mural Office 2 hours after marrying the Mural Office after Philippine because they spelt her one letter wrong in her middle name. So legally we were not married until 2 hours after. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get one letter out, one number out, and the document is useless. I know this for a fact. And Boss Hog knows this for a fact because he keeps telling everybody that he put one letter wrong in my address and couldn't send the money back. So he knows this. He's, but when it comes to him, it's a whole different circumstance. Oh, no. It applies to everybody but him.
Yeah. He could have cut you a check and sent it to your address. You've been giving your address out for years now. I've even memorized it. You've given it out so much. 17 Laurel Avenue.
Well, just answering Poncho here.
It's hilarious.
Poncho,
you've given it out so much that I've memorized it without even looking at it. I've heard it that much.
Yeah. Poncho, he doesn't need money to buy anybody off because he's under Tintin's umbrella. Tintin is the one paying off all the officials. Now, when we first exposed Tintin, now I know this because he did a video one day. Someone sent 6,000 pesos for a specific person in one of his videos. There was a woman in the village and they sent 6,000 pesos. And they said in the video, please give this money to so-and-so, such and such. A couple of days later, he makes a video and he's got a little wee small plastic bag. And he says, I've decided, this is how wonderful he is. He said that it would be irresponsible of me to hand this provincial lady that kind of money. She's never seen that kind of money in her life. She's probably never seen 100 pesos in her life, let alone 6,000. So he said, I'm going to do the responsible thing and spend it for her in a way that will be of value to her. And I thought, oh, you've got to be joking. The subscriber sent the money to the lady, not to him. What she does with it's his business, her business. But Tintin said to the channel, I'm going to spend it for her so it doesn't get wasted. He had one small shopping bag. In that shopping bag, he had 2 packets of instant noodles, a pair of thongs, slippers, chanellas, whatever you want to call them. He had a chocolate bar and something else. He had absolute maximum 200 pesos worth.
Bro. Oh, yeah. Man.
Absolute maximum 200 pesos worth. And so I'm waiting to see the rest of the stuff. But that was it. And he said, and he goes up and he makes this big deal about presenting it. And she was impressed because she'd gotten these free gifts from the white man. Less than 200 maximum. But the woman had sent 6,000. The other 5,800 in his back pocket. And he did this all the way along. Now, he claimed that the first houses that he was building, they were just a one-room bamboo, basically a solid bio-cubo, or one, say like 3x4 bamboo hut. That's all they were. And he claimed they were 125,000 pesos each. Now, we're talking about Talabon Bahal. We're talking about the middle of fucking nowhere. So how come I could do the same thing in Cebu? I could build the same thing in Cebu for around about 12,500 pesos. It was just a 3x4 bamboo shack.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on a concrete slab. There was nothing. It was just bamboo. 3x4. And he was claiming he was paying 125,000 pesos to have each one of these built.
Yeah.
So if I could get them built in Cebu, in a major city, for 12,500 pesos, what was he doing with the other 112,500 pesos that he claimed was costing? How do you think he ended up with a $2 million Raptor? How do you think he ended up with that mansion? Remember
Yep.
when he turned up there, he was 80 years of age with 2,000 American dollars in his pocket. He's never had a job. He admitted that his British pension was something like, he was only getting like pesos per month, like $1,000 worth a month. There's
Yeah.
no way he was generating that money.
Yeah. But you know what?
Remember, remember
They
when he did an interview with Paul from Cebu, and he said to Paul from Cebu, he said, "Can you introduce me to a computer hacker?" And Paul from Cebu's going, Chris from Cebu, sorry, Chris from Cebu, and Chris goes, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I need a computer hacker. I've got things to do on the internet, and I need someone to hack computers for me." Right, and Chris goes, Chris thought he was taking a piss. Chris thought he was joking. A couple of weeks later, he makes a video. I've met this lady, Beth, and she is a Bachelor of Science from whatever university in computers. Well.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, GD. Their run is over also. They you know, they first of all, you remember that house was being built and they were walking over there and acting like they were managing the build for some American named John. You remember that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So they kept saying, yeah, there's this millionaire, or not million, sorry, they didn't say million. They said there's this American named John, and we're sort of managing it for him while he's out of the country, keeping an eye on the contractors and making sure everything is getting done on the timeline. And then once the house was built and they're living in it, everyone's like, where's John? Like, where the hell is John? And then they came out with this story like Beth comes on they're in their truck driving and Beth actually is crying fake tears, like trying to say that John has passed away. Like, but they never explained, like, well, how did you end up? Even if John passed away, how did that house end up in your name? Like, did John transfer it to you? Did John's family sign it over to you? Did you guys pay money to John's family to buy the place? Like, nobody ever knew how they got the house from John if that's John's house. They just said he died. And so it was just a big ruse because they didn't want to admit that they had enough money coming in to build that place because that would affect further donations if people thought they had enough money to build that resort.
Yeah.
So it was a big lie. There was no John. There's no John from America. It was a big lie. They were building that place the whole time for themselves off the money from scam donations. And they had to make up a story so that it didn't seem like they were using donations to build that place. It was just a big scam. And now they've got a white elephant on their hands,
Yeah.
right? They've
Yeah.
been building that place for 3 years now. They say it's a 5-year project. They've been building it for 3 years. And they can only build it little pieces at a time. And the minute they make a little improvement, the retaining wall floods out, right? Like they make improvements and then something happens. It's like they can't get everything done because other things keep getting destroyed while they're
Yeah.
trying to improve on it. And they can't rent it out. Nobody's coming to that dirt hole they've got there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and plus, I don't want to stay in a hotel where the owners are sitting right across from me watching everything I do. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I want my
Yeah.
privacy.
Creepy.
I,
Yeah.
I don't want the owners like in the house next to me watching everything I do, watching me come and go, like it's it's silly, you know.
Yeah.
It's for
Well,
house
yeah,
guests.
mate, this has been really great. Like you are bringing up stuff that's really poignant and relevant to what's been going on. It's been really great listening to your points of view, and this is what I love. And I've been begging people on the live stream to come in with their points of view and to have their say. This is really what it's all about, and you are tweaking everybody's memories and making everybody think, and I really appreciate it. But look at this comment up on the screen now from Poncho. Hogg stole the money for the restaurant from Pete Adams' house sale.
Yeah,
So
Pete
that
died.
gels with what I think. I don't think Rizzuto's the money man. Where did the money come from? Which was in Love's name. So why was Pete Adams' house in Love's name? That's an interesting thing. Pete Adams Jr. will verify this. Well, if anybody can get a hold of Pete Adams Jr. to verify that, listen.
No, Pete's dead. Pete's dead.
But it says Pete Adams Jr.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know there was.
So has he got a son?
Oh, I don't know. I never knew of a Pete Adams Jr. or if the guy that died is Pete Adams Jr.
Well, the way
that
Poncho's got it here is that Pete Adams had a son, Pete Jr.
Oh,
and
I
Pete
see.
Jr. will back up that the money was stolen by Hogg because it was in Love's name.
Oh,
now, if that's the case, if there's anybody out there who does know if Pete had a son called Pete Jr., get him to contact me. What's happened is we know a senator in the Philippines, Senator Dick Gordon. We have access to Senator Dick Gordon, okay? Dick Gordon is a straight shooter. He's one of the few politicians in the Philippines that doesn't give a shit about being outed or being had the finger because he's clean. And so we have access to be able to speak to Senator Dick Gordon. And if we can prove that a foreigner has stolen funds from a deceased estate and we give this information to Dick Gordon, that person is going to be on a plane out of the Philippines after he served a jail term. I can guarantee you that. So if anybody out there does know a Pete Adams Jr. who wants some action, if Boss Hogg stole proceeds of the sale of his house, his wife has stolen the proceeds of that house, I'll have this in the hands of a senator tomorrow. There you go.
I just know that whole inland resort they've got there is a big scam, you know. In fact, Beth was just like alluding to he died. She never even said he died. She just had this sad, teary-eyed and said, well, Pete's not coming back. She was saying everything but he died. Like she was trying to do everything not to lie, you know, to like, and it was just a big scam. They were building that house from ill-gotten funds the whole time. They were building that whole resort the whole time, scamming the donors. And they had to make it seem like it was a guy named John from America, and they were just managing like project managers for John. But it was a big lie because they didn't want to admit that they had a lot of money saved up, that they had a ton of money, just like Hogg, because you can't double dip if people think you got a ton of money.
Yeah, the thing that gets me all along is Hogg's main theme all along, no budget, no budget, no budget.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't that long ago that Richard Laws was paying his medical bills, was paying for Charlie's birthday party, was paying Gina's wages, were paying their electric bills, was buying them groceries. And all the while, he's got all this money to sink into all these other things. I mean, the people out there that watch his channel, that, you know, I mean, he's sucking them into their face, slapping them in the face, spitting on them, and they don't even realize it. I mean, he really had a following of gullible dumbasses. Right? Now, the other thing I noticed the other day, and if you go to his channel page right now and go to his live stream, you know, our last live stream, 43,000 or how many subscribers is he supposed to have? 49,000 or something? 12 comments. His last ever video, 12 comments on it out of 40-something thousand people. He's closing his channel down. He got 14 comments out of 40,000 plus subscribers. Only 12 were bothered to say whatever. Like you say, his channel's dead.
Yep,
but here's the thing. It's the only thing that he ever had of his own in the Philippines. And he's going to find that really hard to let go. Now,
it was the only thing not in Maricel's name.
Yeah. I honestly don't understand anything about that woman. Is she a Muslim? Why are they out of Mindanao? Is William her actual father, because if William's her father and her birth certificate's true, then like everybody says that Doc Lowe picked up, he would have had to have been 10 years of age when he got the woman pregnant that was her mother.
Yeah,
I mean, the questions that document raises are just phenomenal. But who is William? Why? Look, I've got family in Cebu. I've offered them our rice land. I've said, go over and farm the rice land. You're going to make millions. We're not leaving Cebu. This is our home. I find that the same with all Filipinos. It's very hard. I mean, it's practically impossible to get a Filipino to leave their ancestral property. You know what I mean? Very hard. No Filipino is just going to get on a boat and go and try and make it on another island. It doesn't work that way. That's not how they're built. But Maricel ended up in Bohol somehow. 6 years before Boss Hogg met her family. Shit. Elaine and I got married here in Australia. We met and married here. When I first went to Cebu, the first trip we had over there to go and meet her family, holy crap, we walked out the airport. There was a crowd of thousands of people. Most of them were her relatives welcoming me to the Cebu. He got to Cebu. He got to the Philippines. No one but her met him at the airport. None of her family wanted anything to do with him. For 6 years before he met her family. Holy shit, I've had her family crawling out there, the mountains from provinces all the way. When I go over there, they come from everywhere, every time to say hello, to meet me. Okay, I'm a walking ATM, but that's not the point. They come. But 6 years, they didn't want to know him. Is that because they're Muslim and want nothing to do with the infidel white man? Why don't they want anything to do with Brian Smith? And the ones that have come there, what about that woman that ended up, they went back to register their kids for money, for welfare money. And when we turned around and said, well, she goes back, this is false, because second best, Maricel went down there to register Charlie. You've got to register them in your place of birth and in your place of residence where you officially live. And she put it down that her house was there to get the money. And that other woman, I turned around and says, if you move back to Bohol, we're going to be calling Department of Social Welfare and Development, and we're going to be telling them that you're rorting the system to get that money when you're not entitled to it living out of the area. And so she stayed. Now this boy, not E-boy, the other one. If you look back at it, I did a video 2-3 years ago. Maricel, I found a page, I don't know how it was, of Maricel. Everybody denied it was her. I know damn well it was her. Everybody, but everybody poo-pooed it. And of course, Brian had that bigger channel and more people to shout me down. And I didn't have a very big channel at all. And, I had 40 or 50 subscribers and I didn't get any support because nobody knew anything about the Philippines. The people that were following me were all, not in the Philippines or expats or anything. But it was Maricel with 2 kids. And if you take a look at this guy that's come up now from Mindanao, supposed to be her nephew. No, that's her son. That is her son. The age that he is now perfectly corresponds with what he would have been to that picture when I found them a couple of years ago. And that's what he's growing up to be. Who are these people? Why are they there? That's her son.
Oh, man. Dude.
That's her son from a previous marriage. Why? Their family connection is so convoluted and such bullshit, it's not funny. I personally think that they are Muslims and that they've been thrown out of the Muslim community. Now, we don't know for a fact. We've only heard the story that William, I refuse to call him Tata. You don't walk around calling people father-in-law. You call them by their name. William apparently borrowed a shitload of pesos against the family property to lend to Brian Smith a while back. And Brian Smith says, I'll pay you back. But he never has, of course, because he's never had any money. And Tatai, William, has been booted out of Mindanao because his family's lost their ancestral land to this grifting, infidel, bloody white man up on Bohol. And that's why they want nothing to do with him. He's cost them their entire ancestral property. And they know who he is. Why don't we ever see any of this so-called family ever, You know, one time someone's come to visit and they're pissed off in a real big hurry. You've never heard from them again. Hell, I've got more, you know, I've had more loyalty from my subscribers who come and visit my home than he has her own family. He's had less family visitors home than I've had subscribers come visit mine. I mean, how sad for him is that? They want nothing to do with him. Is it because they're Muslim and he's an infidel? Is it because he's cost them their ancestral land? Is it because he's just a fat loser? But I've always wondered that the low self-esteem second best must have for herself. Because that's why I call her second best, because she's second best. After Marley, she's the second best choice. And she knew what was going on. She knew that he got another Filipina pregnant behind her back. And she still took him on. Why? How did he convince her that? Because there's no Filipina that I know would have anything to do with a bloke who did that to her. There is not a decent Filipina in the Philippines that would have anything to do with a bloke that had screwed around with another Filipina and got her pregnant and then dumped her. I don't know why she had anything to do with it, because there's, like I say, you'd have to be a low-class skank by Filipino standards to hook up with a bloke like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And why is she stuck with him? She needs him like a hole in the head. She doesn't need him for anything. William can probably do 1,000 times better on that place if he had a free hand. Boss Hog and his micromanagement of what? The lazy fat fuck. The only thing that he can do is walk around with a camera in his hand. That's the only thing that he can do successfully. Can't do anything else. He's as useless as tits on a bull. What did he threaten Gina with? I mean, Gina's crazy. There's nothing that he can do to stop her from telling about her days on the Bahaval. There's nothing. What's he threatened her with that she's kept her mouth shut? She doesn't seem to understand that if she put a video up saying, okay, tune in on Friday at 6 p.m. and I'll tell you the lowdown on what happened in the Bahaval while I was there. I'll give you the story. Shit, the internet would break. There would be that many people tuning in to see what Gina's got to say about that slob. It wouldn't be funny. She'd make a fortune on her channel overnight. Why isn't she? What has he threatened her with? The same way he's threatened Linda, the same way he's threatened Marley. Marley told me in no uncertain terms, I can't say a thing because if I do, Boss Hog's gonna do this, that, and the other. And I go, well, we can't do anything. You're the Filipina and the mother of the child. He's nobody. He's just a rat bastard foreigner. They're terrified of him. For what?
Do you remember that when they were building that house, and I remember like somebody asked him in his live stream that, hey, what's going to happen if you guys, you sell the farm? Because they were going to sell the farm, right? Like, are you going to give Gina money for that place? And he actually agreed. Yeah, we're going to cut half, we're going to cut her half in, and she's going to get half of it. Once she got kicked out, he was asked the same question again in his live stream. He's like, why would I pay her anything? Like, all donations paid for the house. She didn't pay for it. It was paid for by donations. So why do we owe her any money? She didn't put any money into it. And so he wormed his way out of that one.
Yeah. That farm will never be sold, Ernesto, for the simple reason is you can't sell something you don't own.
Yeah.
Categorically. He tells everybody. And yet it's there now. You can go and watch it right now and listen to it right now in his own video where he tells everybody that they leased it and he made an agreement through the lawyer and everything, and he's leased it back off Marisol for 25 years. It's there in black and white. You can hear him sit there telling everybody that that's the arrangement, that that's what he's done. So how can you sell something that you've only leased? You can't. But he seems to have forgotten that video. And then he tells everybody that he owns it and he's selling this and he's selling it. I mean.
Hey, let's get caught up on these comments so I can see them, if you can get through them.
Which one didn't?
No, I'm just saying it just let's catch up on them.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
By a bigger
Well, you're right.
Kubo.
Yeah. 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 I mean, if you go into Bahio Kubo sales in Cebu, you can get they're huge, they're massive, they're really nice. They're not just a one-bedroom square box. That like the Bahio Kubos that they construct in Cebu, they're really, they're lovely looking things, and they're twice the size and twice as nice, and got more appointments than these things that Tintin was building for 125,000 pesos. How come you can buy these fancy bloody $1 million great looking things in Cebu for 35K when a plain box on Bahal is 125,500? I mean, I'm sorry I asked a question, but I get shouted down. I'm told I'm an idiot. But there you go. You can see it here. Look it up. Anybody who wants to can look it up on the internet. Bahio Kubo sales Cebu City. Then look up what Tintin is spouting on his channel. It's costing 125,500. I mean, the proof of the pudding is right there in your face, but people deny it because they're so bloody ignorant. I mean, once they decide to support these people, you put the truth right in front of their face and they still deny it. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Just the blind following is just beyond a joke. It's just beyond a joke.
Meaty! Hey, that's Buick's voice. Meaty, what's up, mate? Meaty!
I must admit,
Meaty! Hey,
Tony
mate!
does have an interesting accent, doesn't he? Yeah.
I love that Tony, dude. Tell Tony to get up on this panel. Tony, get up on here, mate.
Yeah. Well,
Meaty!
you see, a lot of people accuse me of shouting everybody down and not being able to take criticism, but Tony comes straight out and tells me off when and so it's great to have around a guy that keeps me on my toes.
Oh, that Tony Buick, he's a right crack, man. That's fun.
Okay, Etta. Yeah, I don't know about the 2020 account. I'm not sure what's going on in it, but you are definitely, like when I was going through, I would have seen your name come up, and it's definitely not in the block list, so I don't know. But what I do know is that whoever's got the back door, and we all know this, I've raved on about it for ages, Wayne and Robert were here the other night, and they saw it firsthand, so they know I'm not bullshitting. We were absolutely gobsmacked that we could not get online. I told everybody the night before that we're coming on at 6:30 that night. When we went in to try and set it up, there was no way. It took us a good half hour of running around and changing settings and going into, what do you call that, task manager and everything to turn stuff on and it was just ridiculous. So Robert and Wayne were there when that happened. I'm not lying to you guys. I mean, I've got no reason to. Well, like you all know I'm not a tech head. So, yeah,
What's this guy say? Tintin Epstein. Wait, go back. Go back to that Tintin Epstein. What did that say?
Yeah. Well, don't
No, I'm not
worry.
Ricky Drama. I'm not Ricky Drama, Buick. I'm not.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, no, it's definitely not Ricky Drama. And that bloke, I got no time for that fool. He's an imbecile. He's worse than he's only on the internet for shock value. What he thinks is funny.
I'll show you my face. I'm not Ricky Drama.
Yeah, I just don't get.
There you
Vanessa,
go.
I don't get. What do you call it? I'm not there to deliberately be mean and nasty to people. I mean, if I come across like that, it's totally unintentional. But I don't set out to put hate on anybody. If it sounds like that, it's not meant to. I try to put the truth across as bluntly as possible. But I'm not out there to like what Dixon said about my nephew. Now this kid was born with a neurological deficiency, and he has massive seizures. He's in and out of hospital all the time. It's been a huge strain on his parents and his entire family. And for Dixon to think that he can take the piss out of this kid and make fun out of it, and think that's entertainment just so he can get views on YouTube. No, that's really sick. And like I say, doesn't matter what I say. If he was to present himself in Cebu right now at that family's house, he wouldn't make it out alive. They would tear him apart for what he's done to that kid and their family. He wouldn't make it out alive. They would tear him apart. And that's the truth. And that's how it works in the Philippines. And if people don't like hearing the truth, it's like people don't like to be told the truth about how Filipinos act. They don't like to be told that they're two-faced bastards who will stab you in the back while shaking your hand. But that's the truth. And they don't like it. They don't like to be told that their corrupt officials are a pack of assholes. They all know they're corrupt, but nobody will say a word because they're too scared that if they say something, the officials' goons will come around at 2 o'clock in the morning and either throw a hand grenade through their window or just machine gun the house. Because that's how it works in the Philippines. That's how it works. You can read about it in the news every day. So-and-so spoke out about such and such. The next day he's got his head blown off. And that's why nobody says nothing. They all know it's true, but nobody will say a damn thing. And this is what pisses me off. They're all afraid of their own fucking shadows. You know, when you're in the Philippines, it's all you know, like what shits me too. And I'll be honest, because I'm an atheist. And look, I'm sorry if this offends me. And Etta knows I'm not deliberately being mean, but all this God stuff. You go onto any Filipino's Facebook page and it's just pictures of God and statues and churches and all these scriptures and all the rest of it. You know why Catholicism is so well accepted in the Philippines? Because Monday through Saturday you can lie, steal, cheat, and do all the shit under the sun. But go to church on a Sunday, give the priest 50 pesos, and he taps you on the back and says, "No problem, son. Now you can do it all again this week." And that's why it's so well accepted in the Philippines, because you can be a total arsehole Monday to Saturday, and on Sunday, the man of God that you follow forgives you and absolves you, and you've got the rest of the week to carry on the miserable fucking life that you live. And I'm sorry. That's it. That's why Catholicism suits the Philippines. But have a look around the world, folks. What are the most fucked up countries? South America. All of South America, it's a shithole. And what is it? 100% Catholic. 100% Catholic. Ask any Filipino, and I defy anybody to call me wrong. Ask any Filipino, what do they know about the Spanish Inquisition? 500 years of it. Not one of them knows a damn thing about it. Do you think that and you ask a priest in the Philippines, can you tell me all about the Spanish Inquisition? And they start to abuse you, get out of my church, go away. My wife got kicked out of the court of a church because she was cheeky enough to walk in there with a Bible under her arm. And a priest saw that, get out, because he didn't want the truth. The shit they talk in court of a church, you got no idea. The shit that the priest stands up in front of the congregation on a Sunday and just talks utter shit. So my wife walked up to him and says, "Where's that in the Bible? Get out, how dare you, sacrilege." Unfucking believable. But anyway, don't get me started on that. So, Stacey, thank you for deleting all that stuff out of, because I've got a list of people that want to come in on a lawsuit against your employer, because your employer is directly responsible for the fact that you did all this, because you did it on their time, on their property, in their vehicle, and on their land. So, like I say, a person super, super close to me is a clerk at the New South Wales Superior Court. And they've documented and logged everything with your name on it, because when you sent all that shit, especially to my son-in-law's parents, you don't understand what you've done. We get a call from my daughter-in-law saying, my parents had just rung me up saying, who is this guy, Stacey Dixon, sending all this shit to my parents? It all came through under your name. So you might have sent it under one of your fake accounts, but it all comes back to the original account, and it's got your name, Stacey Dixon, all over it. The Facebook pages that you created and called all these other disgusting people, all got your name all over it. And we can get the details from YouTube Legal anyway. So, the shit that you've created for yourself, you're not as smart, and the people that have sucked you into doing it on their behalf. Stacey, we all know you're not smart enough to do it. You can barely read. You're semi-literate. So whoever's been pushing you really need to go to the sheriff. If you're so good friends with the sheriff, he's probably got half a brain about when it comes to the liabilities. Go and ask him, what's going to happen if I decide to sue your employer? So he's going to say, yeah, he's got every right to. You're guilty. You're liable. So, as I say, if you think, if they've turned around and say, oh, just go along with Jeff now, just do what he says, and in a month we're going to come back and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and we're going to bombard him from every direction in a couple of weeks' time, or we're going to open another channel, or we're going to do it this or that. You do that, and I will crucify you. But through your bosses, because the whole thing, they're liable for it. Are these idiots that are teaching you to do all this shit, are they informing you of this, Dixon? Do you know this? Go and ask the sheriff. That's the best advice I can give you. You reckon you're great friends with the sheriff? Go and ask him what your liabilities are, because he will tell you to run a mile. He'll tell you that I'm telling him the truth. What's the timestamp on this video? Show it to him and say, hey, is what Jeff's saying here, is that correct? And he will tell you, yes, that's correct. These fools that are leading you by the nose, Stacey, to do their bidding because they haven't got the guts to open the channel and do it themselves, to be held account, but they're using you like a sacrificial goat. When are you going to wake up yourself and see that? They're not your friends. They don't care about you. They're just using you to post their shit on Facebook with you as the front man while they're sitting in the background laughing that they've found a fool like you to do it for them. Do you not understand that? So go to see the sheriff of Woodruff County and ask him, and he will tell you, yep, GD Mead is telling you the truth. He's 100% correct. You see, Stacey, I don't make up stories. I don't make up lies. And I'm giving you a source to prove what I'm saying. Go to the person you trust and say is your friend and you've known all these years, and he's a law enforcement officer. Go and ask him. If I was making up a pack of lies, if I was talking shit, I wouldn't say that, would I? I wouldn't be, because I'd be wasting my time. I'd be talking shit. Well, I'm not talking shit. I've checked my facts with a lawyer in New York. An American lawyer in an American major city has told me that your bosses are fucked if I decide to sue them. All because you're sitting there in your little dark trailer with a miserable life, wanting some attention, and these fools have latched onto you and given you a little bit of fucking online presence. Well, mate, they're now hanging you out to dry. They're now hanging you out to dry. You know? But like I say, if you come back in a month's time with another YouTube channel and reinstate all this bullshit, then the Chappells are going to know all about it, because it started with them. And because you've already admitted it by deleting your YouTube channel and deleting your Facebook page and doing that and putting out that last video, which it's all been downloaded, you will then be dragged into court and you will be done for conspiracy because you've done it a second time and you'll be going to jail, Stacey. So if these people have said, just let him have his laugh now, we'll get back to him later and we'll reopen and we'll start throwing shit at him in a month's time or whatever. Well, Stacey, if you fall in line with that and if you go along with that, you really are a dumbass, imbecile, inbred hick. Where are they, Stacey? Why aren't they sitting next to you in the camera? Why aren't they showing themselves? They're giving you all this information and they're telling you what to do, but I don't see them in your videos. No. Are you now starting to realise what I'm talking about, Stacey? They're playing you like a cheap guitar. Wake up to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Stacy's watching right now. It's 6:30 over there in Arkansas. It's 6:30 in the morning.
The other night, he was up at 4:30 a.m. listening to me. He must have something on his computer that as soon as I do a thing, but the second I put up a notification that I'm going to go live, there's always one waiting, and he's straight away. Oh, yeah, it's always.
Stacy's over there. He's in his dark room with his shaggy ass beard and his uncombed hair in a dark room with his cat crawling around him, peeing all everywhere. And he's watching right now.
Well, Tony, this is Ernesto Ruiz. He's obviously a friend of the channel. I'm now remembering a name from a long time ago.
I don't know if you remember. Let me try and remind you, GD. I came up on your panel a long time ago. I was in Utah skiing, and I showed you a video of the mountains in Utah. I was snow skiing. And
okay.
I don't know if you remember that, but I came up on your panel a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
I am starting to. Yeah.
And I was in Park City, Utah, skiing, and I was showing you all the snow, everything like that. But I mean, I've been around for ages, watching the channel. I mean, all of the channels, you
Yeah.
know. Um, yeah, I'm just happy to see that all the Mongs are dropping. I mean, the black fella's dropped out, right? And he even came back like 2 weeks ago and said, I'm going to go live in the next day to talk about things that have been said about me online. And then he never did anything. He never came on live. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I didn't, but I can actually understand some of his motivation. I'm assuming that, you see, what happens is he's got that many channels. It's not funny, but the one that he is his pet favorite, he's got this channel where he seems to think that he's some sort of influencer in American politics. He does a lot of political discussions about what's going on in the political arena on one of his channels, and I think that's the one that he wants to concentrate on. But he knows that if anybody wants to follow somebody with their political ideas, they've got to have some sort of credibility or look sensible or intelligent. And if they associate the way he carries on his live streams with people like Vanessa and Andy and Dixon, if they see him consorting with people like that, no one's going to take a blind bit of notice of him on his political channel. They're going to go, are you kidding? On one hand, he's sitting there talking to a bunch of inbred bayou morons, carrying on like a fucking idiot. But on this channel, he expects us to take him seriously, and that's the kind of person he actually is. I think that the reason he's gotten off with Stacey and Boss Hogg and all the rest of it is because he knows it makes him look ridiculous. He knows that anybody associated with them is a bloody idiot, and he's trying to build up this credibility as a political commentator on his other channel. Well, nobody's going to take him seriously if they see him on that channel, and of course they're bound to eventually cross. And then that's gonna make him look like the idiot he is. So that's why he's dumped it.
Well, you know those flyers that they put up around his town that said Uncle Touchy Feely.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
done by
yeah,
somebody off his other channel, one of his other viewers off his other channel. That wasn't from his Philippines channel. That was from his political channel that somebody made those flyers and put them up around town. So they, I'm he's not doing so well on that channel either.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We actually got the transcript from a case. One of his mates, he had a really good friend, and he went round to his apartment one night and he started shooting up his apartment. Fair dinkum.
Yeah,
He actually
yeah,
pulled a gun
yeah,
out and started shooting them up.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that was I think he got a year's imprisonment for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very volatile character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember all those documents. They're on expats forums. I've seen
yeah,
them. And then the
yeah.
one
But
where he so one day he got into a brutal fight with his lady, right? They got into a brutal fight. He beat the shit out of her. She tried to call the cops. He interfered with the 911 call, like while she was calling, like trying to take the phone from her or something. But he interfered with the 911 call while she
yeah,
was calling.
yeah,
And so the charges that came out of that one on that court document were, battery on the woman, and then he actually got a interfering with a 911 call charge on the
wow,
same charging documents, and they're all on expats forums.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, you
Well,
know, he
I'm
he's
very grateful to the team at Expats Forums. And I don't know if you know this, Ernesto, but when Expat Forums first started showcasing me, they actually put me up as a scammer. They actually put me on their blacklist, and I turned around. I gave them heaps. I ripped into them. I said, "Who the fuck are you, wankers? Get fucked your mothers. If you've got the balls, come and see me face to face, and I'll smack you down. How dare you call me a thief and a cheat and scammer and all the
yeah,
rest of it?" Anyway,
yeah.
after a
And
while,
the funny part is I've heard Stacy say before, "Oh, anybody who abuses animals, I hate. I hate people who abuse animals." My next question is, how do you feel about people who beat up women, Stacy?
yeah,
That
yeah,
mate you
yeah,
got
well,
over
yeah,
there in Stoughton, Massachusetts, how do you feel about people who beat up women? Surely if
yeah,
you're offended by
yeah,
someone abusing an animal, surely you have to care about someone that beat the shit out of a woman And
Yeah.
he even had a cruelty to children charge. I don't know if you saw that one. He had a
No.
cruelty. Go look at those documents again. There's a cruelty to children charge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Well,
so he,
the other thing, see, Stacey goes along. Now, one thing that I said to him, I said, we'll be informing your employers how you go on live streams with all these really strange people, and you talk a lot about pedophilia, you talk a lot about bestiality, you talk a
yep,
lot about Nazism,
yep,
you talk a lot about all that sort of stuff, and
yep,
you're very comfortable and happy with that. So if he's, and you do that, like Wild Bill was especially into bestiality. He was fixated on sex with goats and sheep and
yep,
dogs,
yep,
fixated on it. A main theme of Wild Bill's videos was bestiality. So, like you say, if Stacey's so upset about cruelty to animals, why is he going along with a guy who wants to do that to an animal? Why is he such good mates to a person who wants to have physical sex with a goat or a dog or a sheep? And why is he thinks it's so funny and entertaining if, on the other hand, he says that animal cruelty is bad? I mean, this is how gullible and stupid Stacey has been. He goes along with these people who are, then he says he's against what they stand for. If he's against animal cruelty, how can he be friends with a guy like Wild Bill who wants to have sex with goats and sheep and
exactly.
dogs?
How can he be friends with the black fella when he beat the
Yeah,
shit
he
out of his
beats up. Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah,
then interfered with the 911 call and has cruelty to children felony?
yeah.
Like, that
I
is
mean,
horrible. Cruelty to children. I don't know if
he,
you understand what that means here in the United States.
yeah. Oh, same
I,
here, mate.
that shit,
That
if
is
you
just
have that shit
absolute
on your
no-no here.
record,
Yeah,
you ain't getting hired anywhere.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's unbelievable. And Brian Smith is the same. And the I heard you ask the question, why would you want to be around these people? Well, these people only can be around people as shitty and as horrible as them. Those are the only buddy that will that's the only people that will accept them as friends. Is
yeah,
people as horrible and shitty as themselves.
yeah,
And so they find each other. Birds of a feather flock together, and they find each other. All these shitty people find each other and they group up.
yeah. Listen, I'm getting really interested in Poncho's comments about this house and the house sale and how it was cheated out of them.
Yeah. Go through the comments, catch up on them.
Yeah, Poncho, if you do know of any way, shape, or form how to get in contact with the son of Pete, with Pete Adams Jr., please pass on my email address, because I can tell you now, without involving him, if he can send me some details, which I'll keep confidential, if he can give me any tangible proof that Brian Smith or second best Maricel Smith have somehow misappropriated funds from his father's estate, trust me, I can make noise about that in the Philippines, and I will, without any cost to him, without bringing him in, without involving him. If he can give me details of that, see, everything is building up against Hogg, and that's why he shut his channel down. He is now terrified that his admissions about that restaurant and his part in it are going to come back to bite him, and they are. And we're using everything we can. And if we can put all the information we can to the authorities, especially that he is stealing from a deceased estate in the Philippines, of Philippines owned property, it's just another big nail in his coffin. So anybody out there, Poncho, if you can get a hold of Pete Jr., to give him my email address, meadg69@gmail.com, meadg69@gmail.com. I'll put it in the link after this is over. I'm willing to add that to the information that we're sending to all the different Filipino people, especially the tax department. But if Smith has stolen money from your father, from Pete's father, to fund this illegal restaurant, there's only so much that the Philippine officials can ignore. But once he starts committing major crimes like that, someone has to take notice. And like I say, I'm gonna start sending and rerouting everything to Dick Gordon.
Hey Poncho, we need some paperwork too, big guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Please, we need some paperwork on this, because we've got to be able to post this stuff, because
Yeah,
Nobody's going to believe anything until they see some real paperwork on this stuff.
yeah. That's a good one. All these. Where's Andy on MacTan? Why haven't we seen a video? Why isn't Andy on MacTan? He keeps saying on all the live streams that he goes on and all the channels that he chats on, oh yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to come there. I'm going to eat there. And why hasn't he come there, made a video and put it up? Because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Where's Van Nessa? Oh, and I noticed the other night he was on Stacey's last live stream, and he's raving on, but he is what I thought he was. He's just a bayou hick. I mean, for Christ's sake, in his lounge room, he is just showing he is the quintessential poor Filipino, because what's he got? The ever-present white plastic chair. Gee, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my $5,000 recliner leather lounge suite is sort of like looks a bit out of place when you've got those prestigious plastic chairs. Van Nessa, the man, in his lounge room has got plastic white chairs. You know, when you go to the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, it's either a green or a white plastic chair, the standard piece of equipment. Like I say, I'm so sorry that my $5,500 leather recliner lounge suite is overshadowing his white plastic chair. How well off you are, Van Nessa, that you can provide your asawa, your Filipino squeeze, a white plastic chair inside your house. Shit, even on my deck, I've got $100 bloody proper outdoor lounge furniture. I haven't got any white plastic chairs, Van Nessa. You sad, pathetic loser. As all of Bothard's and Dixon's people are, just cheap, nasty, poor losers. Sorry, but if all you can provide your woman
kick your
is if all you can provide your asawa is a white plastic chair, you're a loser. And I don't care what anybody says. That's it. Yeah, Robert is Mindanao Kiwi. That's always been his what do you call it? His handle, his screen name. That's what I first knew him as for a long time. It was, in fact,
Dude,
I didn't know
that guy's
Robert was
funny,
Robert.
dude. Robert's
Yeah,
funny as hell, man. I love his commentary in the background when you're talking, dude. He is
yeah, but
funny.
he's serious. I mean, like since Rob's been over in Australia, I mean, like it's been really great to have him around. He's really been handy. I don't know what it is. I ring him up if I need a hand with something or whatever. He's never said no. He's always been here to give me a hand with if I need, something around the house or whatever. He's always dropped whatever he's doing and been happy to help out. So, yeah, great guy. His bosses love him. He's doing really well at work. He's made a real place for himself in the community. People yelled out, "Hey, Robert!" Like he's really fitted in, and he's really doing well for himself. It's good to see. Good to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised he was able to come over to Australia from New Zealand at his age and find a job so quickly and assimilate right in, just like plug right into the Australian, workforce.
What are you on about, Tony? Oh, he says he wants to take it. Yeah, he wants to look at your ugly mug, mate.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me
See if
see
he
if
can
I...
recognise you. There you go. There he is. Like I say, if you know that Law and Order program, you really do look like Detective Stabler.
There you go. I'm
You know
not.
the
I'm
guy
not
I'm
sick,
talking
Grandpa.
about? No, but do you know? No, you don't look anything like Sick Grandpa. You don't look anything like him, mate. That guy is ugly. I've seen ugly before, but he is ugly.
Meaty, come up, come up, come up. Oh fuck, I forgot his name already. Buick, come up, Meaty.
Yeah, Simon. I really won't comment on that bloke. He has his own bipolar neurological disorder. What he doesn't understand is he's come really late into this, and he says don't talk bad about the family, and so, but he's supporting the people that do. And you're right. He's now his nephew by marriage, and if he continues to support the people that are bagging him, then he's worse than they are, because he's now supposed to be by marriage his uncle. But I can tell you now, the father of that child is in Australia. And the father of that child isn't going to put up with this bullshit much longer. Enough said. But he'll find that out the hard way. But you're right. It's now his nephew. And if he continues to support the people that are bagging him, it goes to show you what a low-life fucking Queensland loser he really is. What a cheap piece of shit he really is.
Do you know what's funny is Stacy always wants to know why he can't get a free pizza sent to him. It's because there's not a Pizza Hut within 100 miles of him. He lives in the fucking boonies. Like, nobody delivers to where he lives. He lives, what do you call it? The Wop Wop? Is that what you call it?
Back and beyond.
That's where Stacy lives, dude. Nobody can deliver him a pizza. He lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I call, like, little small towns like where we live in, Casino, New South Wales, I call it Bumfuck Junction.
Yeah. Nobody can deliver you a pizza, Stacy. You live out in the middle of fucking nowhere in the sticks. I would be surprised if you can get an Amazon package where you live.
There's one takeaway outlet in Cotton Plant called Crispy Crunchy Chicken. Okay, and I've got them on my mailing list to send them all this information on them. It's dollars to donuts that he obviously goes and buys food from Crispy Crunchy Chicken. There's another one called Charlie's Cajun or something, or rather Cajun joint, and I've got them on the mailing list too. It's actually a mobile food van, but they've got an email address, and obviously he would have, and I can just imagine the people in that place, if they got an email from a guy in Australia telling them all the stories about Stacey Dixon, I mean, that had spread like wildfire. It has spread like wildfire, like. Okay, so you're at the crunchy chicken place in Cotton Plant. I mean, the latest big news would be, who got swatted by a mosquito. I mean, it must be that boring. And I mean, the whole place, there's 960 people there. That's it. It must be that frigging boring there. So to get an email from a guy in Australia saying all this shit about Stacey Dixon, that'd be the talking point of the day, wouldn't it? So, like I say, he's risking being exposed so bad. But like I say, if he's done what I asked him to do, so I'll hold off. But if he comes back in a month's time, if he tries to do anything stupid, I'm going to release so much information to so many people everywhere on behalf of his employers. I mean, his life is going to be a frigging misery. So as long as he stays out, if he starts going on other channels and keeps it going on other channels and commenting and saying shit on other channels, the bets are off. You either drop it or you're done. It's that simple, Stacey. Drop
Etta had a question for you. Did you miss it?
Where are we?
Just go back.
Etta, that is my wife's sister's husband. Okay? And unfortunately, he has problems. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, mental problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Simon. Yeah. He's actually my wife's sister's husband, Simon. G'day, Wayne. Yeah, listen, hey, I got your text. You ended up in Tea Gardens. Where the hell's Tea Gardens? I did send you a reply, but the next day it looks as though it didn't get sent. I don't know. I mightn't have hit the little blue thing. So did you get to Newcastle? Where did you end up in the end? Or are you back home yet? What's going on, mate? Let me know. Yeah, so that's it. He left here on, what's today? Today's Saturday. He left here on Thursday morning to go to Newcastle, which is about a 7-8 hour drive down heading towards Sydney. But I got a text from him to say he was at Tea Gardens, and I've heard of Tea Gardens, but I'm not quite sure where it is. So I'm not really sure where he ended up. So, Wayne, nice to see you all again. Thank you very much, mate. So, Simon, Stacey screwed up and disappeared the wrong person's wife. Someone here has no idea who she is and who she's related to. Yeah, he did. Stacey's, the people that are telling him to do what to do and who to target have got no idea of what those people can actually respond with. Like I say, they targeted my daughter thinking that, oh, well, that's okay. Wrong. You have no idea who my daughter is, what my daughter has accomplished in her life, who she knows, and what she does. And if they knew that, they would not go anywhere near her. My daughter is a person that it is very silly to play silly buggers with. You think it's bad to take me on? Taking my daughter on is really stupid. Enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mate, she advises Superior Court judges. That's her job, to advise a Superior Court judge as to what verdict to make. She's very good at what she does. To take her on in a legal sense is about as dumb as you can get.
Well, GD, I know you're not going to send stuff in on Stacy, but I mean, you've already given out all his employer information. Anybody can
Somebody
get on the
does that.
face. Who?
Well, it
I
actually
mean,
wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. It was actually Doofus Dixon who advertised who the employers were. Once it was out, I never mentioned them. I just said that I'm going to contact your employers, and then on the live stream, Doofus Dixon's screen name came in and named them.
oh, I thought you were talking about Lisa Chappell and somebody Chappell. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Doofus Dixon named them. Lisa, he's the one that came out and said, Mike and Lisa Chappell of Cotton Plant, Macrory Cotton Plant. He's the one that named them. I didn't.
Oh,
he's the one that named them.
gotcha.
And then after that,
gotcha.
it became public knowledge. What's to stop me?
Yeah, and what's to
After
stop
that, everybody
anybody
knew.
else? What's to stop me? Or what's to stop? I mean, you can still keep your word, but other people can still send that shit in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
they are on YouTube, all over social media, but also is their profile on their farms. And I'll give you an idea. I haven't posted it yet, but if you go into hang on, let me just get this up for you and I'll show it to you. If you go into the US Department of Agriculture, they have what's called an EW, I don't know, it's EWP. And if you click on the EWP, subsidiaries, who's being paid subsidiaries, it clearly shows you Mike and Lisa Chappell Farms of Macrory, Arkansas. And from 2015 till now, no, hang on, I've got it here. I've got a picture of it here. And let me have a look. Here it is.
Is there a? Do you have a business like a license number or something like that on there anywhere, like the license number for their business?
It's all on the. No, I've never noted that down. Because I'm not going to do anything at the moment. But I don't know if you can see this. US subsidies.
You can file complaints if you have the business license number.
It's on here. It's on the USDA.
Uh-huh.
But I've got no reason to advertise. I don't want to make trouble for them if I don't have to. But here it shows every year since 1995 to now, they've been subsidised by the US Department of Agriculture $4.42 million. So don't tell me that some of that money hasn't ended up in Dixon's pay packet. He tells everybody that everybody else is a what do you call it? A welfare bludger. But hang on a sec. Dixon also, before he deleted it off his page, hang on, here's the second part of this. Just give me a second. The second part of this is, where are we? I took two photos of it. Yeah, so the total that they've received, the total that his bosses have received in subsidies from the US Department of Agriculture is $4,399,468 up until now.
Meaty.
So basically, you can say that
I'm headed to the Black Hills of South Dakota, to Mount Rushmore, to chisel in GD Mead's face. I got you, Meaty. Meaty. He wants me to put you next to our
video.
He wants me to put you on Mount Rushmore next to our four presidents in the Black Hills of South Dakota. He wants me to put
okay.
I love the idea.
Oh yeah, he was
But
saying that the other night. Yeah, put my face on Mount Rushmore. Yeah. No, I just want to. I'll settle with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'll settle with that on Hollywood Boulevard. Not a problem.
hey, GD, you got to get in line because is already first in line to try to get his face on that mountain. So you got to
Oh
wait
yeah.
behind Donald Trump, apparently.
And the thing is, I mean, it's not silly. I mean, he could probably pay to do it. He could probably do it. It's not a stupid thing. I mean, I don't think that the United States Historical Society would do it. But if Donald Trump turned around and says, right, I'm putting my face on Mount Rushmore and came up with the money, it'd happen. It would happen. Hey, look, in
I mean,
today's
it might. It
yeah, in
might.
today's
He's
climate,
got that
anything's
Christy
possible.
Nome. She used to be the Christy Nome, our Homeland Secretary. Now she used to be the governor of South Dakota, and that's her best friend. So maybe she could pull some strings for him.
Isn't Dakota where they're also building on that mountain the big carving of Crazy Horse? Somewhere in Dakota?
Yeah, that's in South Dakota. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's run out of steam, hasn't it? That's come to a grinding halt. The guy that's doing it ran out of money or something, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's a different location too. It's kind of far away from Mount Rushmore. It's not close to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of that's Indian land too. So I mean, it's going to
Yes.
take a little bit of finagling to get anything done there with the Indian land.
Well, of course, Dakota, the Black Hills of Dakota, is what the Battle of the Little Bighorn was all about. You know, the
Exactly.
gold rush when they found gold there. You know, that was what sparked the Sioux to take on Custer. You know what I find remarkable about that though. I've seen a number of YouTube videos lately. I don't know why they just started appearing on my YouTube channel about the actual battlefield itself, and there's all this patriotic, history and all these people. Oh, what a reverent place! I visited there. It was so peaceful. It's such a historical place and all the rest of it. Well, how about mowing it? How about cleaning it up? If you're going to go gaga and all this bloody, soppy about it and refer to it as some sort of religious bloody, place and all that sort of stuff, least you can do is mow the bloody lawn and clean it up. It's a fucking mess. It's overgrown. It's filthy. There's rubbish everywhere. Stop being so bloody patriotic about something that you can't even be bothered to clean up. I mean, if you're going to have all this pride, at least make the place look presentable. But it looks like shit. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just got to say what I say. Like I expected that the place would be looked after, that would be clean. Like you see all the European war grave cemeteries from World War II. They're immaculate. They are looked after and tended. They're brilliant. The war graves in France where they had the landings at Normandy, all that sort of stuff on Sword, Gold, Juno, and all those beaches that they stormed. They're in pristine condition. But you look at the battlefield of the Little Bighorn there in America, and it's a dump. It's like a rubbish dump. I'm sorry, that's just so disrespectful and irreverent. I don't know why they keep raving. Oh, it's such a peaceful, spiritual place. Yeah, it's also a rubbish dump. Clean it up. Sorry, that's my take on it. I'm an outspoken prick. I know, but I mean, seriously, really, We had a internment camp here in World War II in Esto, and there were a couple of thousand Japanese prisoners of war, and it was in a town called Cowra, and there was a massive breakout, and about 800 of them, 1,000 of them broke out. Hundreds of them were shot down and killed. Okay, and that place is being kept as a memorial, and it's immaculate. Now that was a World War II prisoner of war camp here in Australia. And, it's a historical place, and we look after it, and you can go there, and there's not so much as a chewing gum wrapper being blown around by the wind. It's kept respectfully. But the battle site of the Little Bighorn, one of the most famous things in American history, and it looks like a friggin' rubbish dump. I'm sorry, it's just disgusting as far as I'm concerned.
Hey,
There's some.
Wayne, Hog isn't on the YouTube, but I do think he's on the toilet.
Oh, okay. Does anybody know whether the Hogster is back on YouTube? Oh, he'll be back, Wayne, because look, he's got to come back at least every 3 months to keep his channel going. He's not going to let that channel go. It's the only thing he's got in his own name that he can rely on to make him $1. It's the only thing that's not under second best control. And when she finally gets rid of him because no money's coming in, because this restaurant is a prop, it's not a working restaurant, never was. The only people that have ever turned up there are people that he's wanted to shove in front of the camera, like Commander Dayok and this American guy, to promote it for him so he can possibly sell it to some fool. But who in their right mind buys a business that hasn't been trading for at least 12 months and can provide receipts for 12 months? You know, yet no one's going to buy that place as a franchise. I mean, where does he get these ideas? You know, and you know the fact that it's registered in his wife's name. You know, isn't he the big entrepreneuring American trying to sell an American business? Registered in his wife's name. I mean, the whole thing is just ridiculous. The whole thing, the entire restaurant situation is just, to be blunt, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
You know that steam table that he built,
Yep.
right? For the restaurant.
Yep.
You know, we saw it in the back of the pink truck on one of his videos, and he was asked about it. He said, "Oh yeah, it was leaking, and we're gonna go get it welded and bring it back." Right? Well, last time he was in that kitchen filming, there's no steam table in there.
Yeah, God knows what happened to that. Etta, just punch in Gary Martin, Massachusetts, or Gary Martin YouTube. Just go into the Google search engine and Google. You know,
Gary Martin in the Philippines.
Yeah, Gary Martin in the Philippines or Gary Martin YouTube.
Gary Martin in the
Philippines.
Philippines.
But it's only
if you want to see his other channel, it's Gary Martin, the real. It's Gary Martin, the real something man.
Yeah.
And that's his other channel. But Gary Martin in the Philippines is his.
Yeah. And Gary Martin 2.0. Gary Martin. Now remember, Gary's only got one R, Gary. Or try Gary Leonard Martin. Gary is his first name, Gary. Leonard, Lanard is his middle name. Martin 2.0.
I got it. The real common man, Etta.
Yeah, Gary Martin, the real common man.
The real common man.
If you want to see more channels.
Yeah, if you want to see two videos where some videos where he ran into the police at a mall in Massachusetts and they damn near arrested him because he was mouthing off to him. And then you can see other videos where he got swatted twice by the Stoughton, Massachusetts Police Department, where they showed up at his apartment twice within a month and a half. Full SWAT teams came in with automatic weapons, tactical gear, ready to, because someone called and said he was shooting a gun off in the neighborhood. And so they showed up, and then a month and a half later, they showed up again at his house in full SWAT and tactical gear. Like, it's just unbelievable. So go watch Gary Martin, the real common man. And there's one where a video called "The Reason I Feel Like the Stoughton Police Department Profiled Me" or something like that. So Gary Martin, the real common man.
I actually physically spoke to a trooper. I think I did a call. I actually spoke to a police officer at Staunton Police Station. I told them about this guy, and they thanked me. I said, "Listen, do you know that you've got this guy in your midst?" And he said, "Just give me a second." So I gave him his name, his full name, and his date of birth. And the guy came away, and I could hear him type clacking. And he came back to me after a couple of minutes. He said, "I wish to thank you so much for informing us that this bloke is in our community. We will definitely be going and having a word with him."
Oh yeah.
So
he got fucked over at his address there for sure. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
He's not liked in that little apartment community there. Believe me.
Well, I like that. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That's a nice nice analogy there. Thank you very much. Etta Stacey reminds me of a corgi. Oh, no. He's got nothing to do with my queen. Corgi's always associated with Kiwi too. Etta, no. Yeah. No. Oh, corgis are the queens, yeah. That's why if you're a stuck-up English woman, you have a corgi. You don't have a poodle, you don't have a pug, you have a corgi. And it proves that you're stuck up because Queen Elizabeth had corgis, and anything less or anything else, and no. It's jolly good, not a good show. Not quite cricket, nobody for tennis. Jolly good show, I don't think so. Yeah, my mum was a snob, but she had a dashing, I don't know, sausage dog. Oh my God. There you go, there's another one for you. Etta from Simon, Gary Martin Live 2.0. Yeah, so he's got enough of that, what's this, Etta? Jeff's a man of his word, though. He shouldn't let Stacey compromise his integrity. Well, he's not going to compromise mine or my family's, that's for sure. And that's why, he's gotten rid of his Facebook page. He's gotten rid of his YouTube page. Thank you. And I've offered and I have deleted the videos on him. I've also let him know, and I'll let him know again. If he sees any other videos on my channel that he takes offense to, I will take them down. That's only fair. And for the viewer that put that to me the other night, thank you very much for doing that, and I totally agree. And I followed your advice. I'm not gonna be an ass about it. I'm quite happy to do to him what I've asked him to do to me. So there you go. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that shows that I'm going to let a bygone be a bygone. But if he does come back in a month or 6 weeks or whatever, or if he goes on other channels and propagates it and continues it and thinks he's going to get away with it, no, all bets are off.
I'm betting dollars to donuts Gary Martin in the Philippines comes up on a video tomorrow, because all those little mongs will be contacting him. They're talking about you, Gary. They're talking about you on Jeff's channel.
Yeah, but
they're talking about you.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the things that I've mentioned about Martin tonight, they're all the truth. I haven't called him a paedophile.
Oh, I agree.
I haven't called him a scammer. I haven't,
I don't give a shit either.
So
I hope he comes up. I hope he does. Yeah. I hope he makes a video. I'm just making a point that all the little mongs will be like sucking his balls and telling him, "Oh, they're talking about you, Gary, over there," like reporting us like little bitch snitches.
See what he's worried about. The one Gary Martin, the common man. I think that's the one he does all his political commentating. So if he wants to make a video and start getting stuck into me again, then I'll throw it out to my channel. Everybody, go and put a comment on this channel. Hey, wife beater. Hey, felon.
Yeah. Hey, child abuser.
Yeah, child abuser. Any more posters? I can get thousands of people to comment on his political channel, and he's not going to want that. So if he wants to be an arsehole and start back again, then I can be a bigger arsehole back. So it's up to him. Yeah, I think he knows when to leave well enough alone. Because
I still can't get over that cruelty to children charge. Like, it just annoys the shit out of me. I mean, the felony for beating up his girlfriend's bad, but that felony for cruelty to children, and usually he pled out, so those are reduced charges. It was probably something worse than cruelty to children. That was probably like he pleaded that case out. He didn't go to trial. He pleaded no prosecute, which is just basically like he pleaded no contest, which means it doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means that you agree that the prosecution has enough evidence to convict you, but you are not having to plead guilty. Now, the only exception with that is if later they come across more evidence, new evidence that can back up that charge, they can then go in and prosecute you again. If they come up with new evidence on that charge, they can still come back and prosecute you, even if you pled no contest.
Yeah.
So no contest is not guilty. No contest means I agree the prosecution has enough to convict me,
Yeah.
but they're letting me plead no contest. Now,
Yeah.
later, if more evidence comes to light to the prosecution, they find more evidence, they can come back and prosecute that charge if they want to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so.
Well, look, I'm happy to dump him and never talk about him again, never mention his name in any way, shape, or form, anything. And if anybody comes on the thing, I'll tell that to them. I'll just delete the comment. If he's out of my life, I'm out of his. It's as simple as that. And I won't go after his employer, which I've got every legal right to do. So he either takes that on board and listens to it and realizes that he's getting off really lightly. But look, if I sue his employers, I stand to make a lot of money. And according to the lawyers in New York through Expats Forums, I've got a really, 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 really strong case. Now, I live very well down in New South Wales here. I'm self-funded retiree. There's nothing I want that I haven't got. I've got a really nice house. I've got, everything I need and want. I've got money in the bank. I'm not poor. I want and suffer for nothing. I don't have to go out suing people. Aussies aren't like that. I mean, Americans, they sue everybody for everything every 5 minutes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
We're not like
that's
that. We're
very
not
true.
litigious down here.
That's very
So
true.
but for the time and effort and all that sort of stuff, to be quite honest, I can't be bothered. But if I have to, I will. So he either understands that I'm able to do that, but I mean, yeah, sure. Wouldn't it be nice to get some money from America for nothing?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hope
need it.
Gary Martin pops back up again. I hope he does. I hope he
Well, I'll
comes
give you
out
an example.
and tries to stir the pot a little. Go ahead and come back up, Gary Martin.
Just last week, because I turned 67 in August, I now become eligible to be paid the New Zealand aged pension. Okay. So I got a document from our social security services here to say, Jeff, because you are a Australian citizen living in Australia, but you were born in New Zealand, you are eligible for this. So as we have a reciprocal agreement with New Zealand, you're entitled to the New Zealand pension and it's non-taxable. So I can open a bank account and apply for this pension and get it paid to me. And it's like $600 a fortnight. And I told them to shove it up their ass. And they go, what? I don't want it. And they go, what are you talking about? It's $600 a fortnight that you're entitled to. I said, no, I'm not entitled to. I don't live in New Zealand. I haven't lived there for 45 years. I've contributed nothing in taxes. Just because I was born there, I said, you really should throw this law in the rubbish. I don't want their money. I'm not associated with New Zealand. I've got no more loyalties to New Zealand. I'm a skip now. I don't want their money. You can shove it up your ass. They couldn't believe it. I'm turning down free money. So that's what I say. When people get on the internet and say that I'm taking money that's donated to Filipinos through my channel, I just sit there and I just piss myself laughing. I just piss myself laughing going, what idiots, you know? 1 second, just 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second.
Meaty! Dude, I love Tony Buick's voice. It's fucking amazing, dude. When I hear that shit, it makes me smile. Good will always prevail over evil, and Stacy
Sorry about that. I don't know if
becomes
Wayne's still watching, but Wayne was
becomes
here the other
Dixon.
night. Yeah, Wayne was here the other night when I was going through and I was telling him all about this pension and filling it all out. And Wayne can tell you. Wayne, jump on the. Hang on a sec. Let me put this up. Wayne can tell you. I don't lie. I've got no reason to lie. And I got these papers and I filled them in. Hang on a sec. Now, and I'll actually show you because I haven't actually mailed them off yet. They're sitting on the kitchen table. I'll show you. Look, I'll show you. Just give me 1 more second while I get this. Whoops. Hang on a sec. So this is the truth of GD Mead and money. You're going to see it in government documents, the truth. And Wayne will tell it because he was here when I filled it in. Oh, shit, they're sealed. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll unseal it. Ready to send off in the mail. I want you people to know just exactly who GD Mead really is when it comes to money. And what I'm like with my legal responsibilities and how I do things. I don't lie. I'm not a cheat. Where is it? Is it this one? Or is it the other one? Must be the other one. Hang on. There were two lots of forms. I don't think it's this one. So it was potluck as to which one I opened. One sec. Not that one. Hang on. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. And then you see, I love the opportunity to be able to prove that what I tell you is the truth. Because I am sick to death of being told by Bayou morons that I'm a liar. I'm sick to death of being told that they know my financial position better than I do. So, oh, here's where it's going. That's the prepaid envelope to go back, right? See, international services, because it's to do with the New Zealand pension. I'm just going to show you here. So it was all ready to go into the mail. So, as you can see, that's what it is. Application for New Zealand benefit or pension. Hang on a sec. Where is it? So here it is. It asks for my bank details for the pension to be paid into. And that's what I said. It wants my bank details. And I've written on it, no thanks, keep it. There you go. That's what I said to them, offering me $600 a fortnight. And it's going back prepaid in the mail tomorrow. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. So now you know that GD is not some welfare bludger or out for anything that's not deserved. I don't deserve the New Zealand pension just because I turned 67. I've lived here in Australia for 45 fucking years. Australia is my country. I pay taxes here. I live here. I pay my council rates and everything here. I pay my Medicare levy here. I don't pay anything in New Zealand to earn and be given New Zealand pension. And that's why I said, no, keep it. I don't want it. Because I'm a genuine, real person who only takes what I'm entitled to. Well, even though by law I'm entitled to this pension, I'm not entitled to it I'm not entitled to it by moral reasons. And I told them, stick it up your ass. I don't want your money. So the next time you hear that GD Mead is ripping off his channel for $25, remember that I've just turned down $600 a fortnight from a government department free. That's who GD Mead is.
Damn, you
Anyway,
could buy Stacey's whole property with $600.
Yeah. And so it makes me laugh when Boss Hog is sitting there raving on about his Social Security. Now, Ernesto, here's something for you, just especially for you. There you go. Tony.
Meaty!
Yeah.
Where are you, son?
Yeah.
Baby!
I love it. I love it.
You had a drop tonight?
No, I haven't. I was actually thinking about having a drink, but you know, I'm really worried about my situation, Tony, because I'm so broke. I'm so broke. I'm wondering where my next meal is coming from, mate. You know, I'm really poor, mate.
Well, there's a meal waiting for you in Arizona or Arkansas, whatever it's called.
Yeah. I'm so poor that I've got so much money in my wallet it won't close.
Crunchy chicken. He's going to go eat a crunchy chicken.
And I'm telling the foreign government that I'm turning down their free offer of $600 a fortnight. You know, I'm so poor, Tony. Poor old Stacey, you know, like I am so poor, Stacey, that, you know, I'm turning down a free pension and I can't close my wallet because it's got so much money in it. But I'm poor. And I'm
Listen,
greedy.
there's a nice couple of cano burgers waiting for you over there if you get hungry. How are you? How are you, Ernesto?
Oh
Listen, I
man,
don't think
brilliant,
I
mate.
remember you from before. I haven't seen you for. That's why I asked to see what you look like. I thought
Yeah.
maybe I've come across you in Dumageddon or something like that. I was in
No,
Dumageddon
no,
for a week.
I've never.
was
I don't live in the Philippines. I don't live in the Philippines.
Okay. Have you ever been there before?
No, I haven't. I do. I have a Filipina girlfriend though, so that's how I kind of got mixed
Okay. So
into
there
the.
is a connection there. Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought what brought you into this community or genre, the Philippine genre or community. Yeah. How long
You know,
you
yeah.
been following? Yeah.
Honestly, honestly, I think it started out with Tintin and Beth, with when they were
Okay,
doing
yeah.
when they were
Hey,
doing their videos, and then it
yeah.
moved on to Hog, and then GD came through.
Yeah,
Like,
Genie came in like what we call like a bull in a china shop over here. You know what that old British saying? When you get a bull, like a beef bull in a china shop. Meaty came in and all he had to
Yeah.
do was walk in, and all the expensive china came breaking down off the shelves. He stirred the pot. He kept them honest.
yep, man, there were so many times where I thought GD was like down, like someone gets knocked down on the canvas and they're getting back up, they're getting back up, and I thought, oh man, GD might be down for the count here, but man, this guy keeps getting back up.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
big shout out to Pierre. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've go and have a look at his channel. Pierre is building a house in the Philippines at the moment that is going to last longer than the Great Pyramid of Egypt. He is building the most solid, well-constructed house. It is like the pyramids. It's going to last for a millennium.
Many a foreigner said that before, but you put a family of Filipinos in, you give them 20 years and that place will be nothing but a bloody chicken house later.
Well, I tell you
Many
what.
foreigners have said that. You put them in, once they take over, I tell you what, it becomes, not all of them, but the ungrateful ones, mate, especially when they get rid of that foreigner, they send him packing. I've heard a couple of my mate, I won't say his second name, I bumped into him, and 9 years ago he lost his nice house he built, all his money, she slowly squeezed him out, this, that, blackmailed him, this, that, we're going to kill you. Her brothers were threatening him. He said, you know what, Tony, I escaped literally in the middle of the night with just my suitcase after all these years because they were going to kill me. And I had no choice. And that's 9 years later. They're still living on his land, his house, beautiful house. So it can go both ways, But anyway, I didn't want to put a dampener, but hey, Ernesto, you're right. How many, you put it perfectly. How many times Meaty in the last 5 years was on the canvas? The referee had him right down to number 9 out of 10. 9, 8, and all of a sudden Meaty gets up, grabs the ropes,
puts his mouthpiece back in. Puts his mouthpiece back in.
Yeah, puts his mouthpiece back in, and he's ready to go for another fight. I mean, this bloke would survive a nuclear blast. Only Meaty and the cockroaches will survive. I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you, Meaty is indestructible, undefeatable, and that's why I love him. I don't agree with all his methods, but I tell you what, he's generous. No one can, even the enemies. No one is as generous and kind-hearted. Of course, he has, he's taken it a bit, too, like a zealot, like a religious zealot when he's after his target. Fair enough. That's up to him. But I tell you what, you're right, Ernesto. How many times we thought Meaty, I thought he was supposed to be dead 3 years ago. He's still running around doing 3-4 hour shows.
Oh
Hang
my
on a sec,
God,
guys.
dude.
Listen,
Oh.
if you do get the opportunity, go and have a look at Pierre's channel. He is building a magnificent house. He's really not stinting, but also a great shout out to James and Mel Hightail on the channel. What's his Texas Filipino. James did a video the other day. There was the earthquake really affected their area. But if all of you know James's channel and follow the build of his house, he didn't stint. He didn't muck around. He built it proper, and his house has not sustained any damage, cracks in it. He built it solid, and it has really withstood. Whereas everything around him has fallen apart. So James, the way he built it, and everybody was saying, "Oh, you're going overboard. You know, you're spending too much." Blah 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 blah. But while all the other houses around him have fallen down and broken, his doesn't even have a hairline crack. So well done to James, and it was great. Now Mel apparently got hit in the head by falling debris, so she got an injury, but lucky it didn't. It wasn't one that sent her to hospital or anything. But really great to see that James and Mel survived it because they spent the right money, like what Pierre's doing in his house. So good on you guys. It was really great to see on James, you and Mel, that you got through it. Sorry to see that Mel did get a hit though, but lucky no serious injuries. Anyway,
Wayne. And that bloke James has done it well. I've heard of him. He's and also he's managed himself. Well, obviously he's got a good wife or girlfriend, because he hasn't been taken advantage of, and he looks like the type of bloke who wouldn't let himself be taken advantage of, and that's the main thing when you're over there. Don't let your woman's family take over your life. You know, you got to keep them at a bit of a space, because they can ruin things in a relationship. Know, especially when she lets them. Like, oh, you got to look after me grandma's chickens, me uncle over the other side of the town, his nephew's daughter, three, cousin, oh, we're going to pay their hospital bills, and little Nelly, that was our 3 cousins removed. She's got a broken leg. Let's go and send another 20,000 pesos there. No, you can't do that. But anyway, yeah.
Big shout out to Mike Dowdy. Mike again.
Shout out to Grinding Coconuts. Shout out to Jackie.
Jackie, yeah. Jackie is doing well
to
as
Grinding
usual.
Coconuts, man.
I love the fact that Jackie's a hardline stayer with the channel, and his humour and everything, mate. Grinding Coconuts channel, ladies and gentlemen, it's hilarious. You got to go and look at all the videos. Mike Dowdy, his channel has got some really interesting
shout out Dowdy
content, and so good to see you back, Mike. Thank you for all your contact that we've had recently. So greatly appreciated,
Mike Dowdy.
Actually, look, I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the information that I've got, a lot of the ability that I had to put the hard word on Stacey has come from Mike. He's a very he's been a very reliable source of information for me recently, and I do appreciate that he's confided in me certain details that have helped me greatly to do what I've been able to do. So thank you very much to Mr. Mike Dowdy.
Dowdy's given Dixon some real fucking problems too. Like, Dowdy's been telling Dixon, listen, next time I'm in the States, I'll come and visit you, motherfucker. Like, let's do this, or he'll just say, I'm gonna be in the States, I'll come visit you,
Well,
I'll come show up at your doorstep. And dude, Dixon is so afraid of Dowdy.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1100, and hang on, 1100 and 20, $45. There's the airfare. There's the airfare for me to get to Little Rock. So
hey,
if I wanted to jump
Peggy
on a
Griffin?
plane,
Isn't that who that is?
that's Peggy.
Isn't that Mike Dowdy's talking about Peggy? Isn't that Griffin from
same? Peggy and Griffin are the same person.
Yeah.
Peggy and Griffin are the same ID.
Yeah.
It was Grim Reaper who discovered that, and Steve Hartford, box of wine, same person. All these idiot screen names. I mean, fallen by the way. But you know what I got a shock about of all the Mongs? I couldn't believe how dumb this guy is. The fake persona Andy on McCann, which he's not on McCann, never has been on McCann, wouldn't know McCann if it shoved itself up his left nostril. He's just a fake, sad little man. But how sad is it when you can't even hold a Filipina from the province in your house? Is Filipina Squeeze has walked out on him. You have to be one total loser to have a provincial middle-aged Filipino walk out on you. And the fact that he actually admitted it is beyond me. How could you be so?
Wait, who are you talking about again? Who are you talking about?
Andy on McCann came out and admitted that his wife has left him.
This is the guy that smokes. This is the guy that smokes in the room while the children are walking around right behind him.
Yeah, but what kind of loser? What kind of absolute loser admits that he's such a loser that a 45-year-old or 50-year-old Filipino doesn't even want to have anything to do with him? I mean, that is really pathetic. That's really pathetic, I mean, I'm 67 years of age, and I'm walking down the street with my wife and kids, and there are a Filipino woman coming up asking if I want a companion. You want to see him? Like, she goes mental. That's my husband. These are our kids. And these women are going, do you want a companion? Oh, my Christ.
That's because you're meanie.
But for him to admit that he can't keep his wife and that she's had enough of him and walked out on him, who in their right minds would admit that? Who would actually admit that? I mean, my God, how?
Hey, meaty, if they chisel and chip and make a spot on Mount Rushmore for you, I tell you what, you'd have a million women walking up to see your face on the rock, and they'll be throwing their panties and knickers at you.
Oh, Meaty, you ain't gonna know what to do. You're gonna have to beat all those women off you, man.
Yeah. Your beloved wife's gonna have to bloody work hard to say, that's my husband. Get the hell out of there. They'll be saying, no, he belongs to history here. He's the famous Meaty who never
No, I'm not
dies,
related to Brevis.
was out for the count, was on the canvas, but keeps getting up. He puts his glass, puts the mouth guard in, and starts another round tomorrow.
I can't understand why we haven't heard anything from Sal. I don't know what happened. We'd arranged to do a live stream together, and for some reason or other, it just dropped contact. I don't know what's happened. So I haven't heard from Brevis for a while. I hope that he's okay.
Well, hey, listen, on a serious note, I think he's probably, nothing's happened to him, I don't think. I hope not. But because of where he is, Cebu and all this earthquake business, I think he's got probably sorting a few things out, and that's why he hasn't been around. Because he would have said good day in the chat by now. He would have. We said that a couple of days ago.
Oh, he would have clicked in. I'm a bit concerned. I mean, I'm assuming he's in Cebu because he was doing some trips to Thailand and Vietnam and all around. So he may not even be in Cebu. I don't know. It's been a while.
Well, that would have been good if he had left before it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be on a trip somewhere else. So we'll just have to wait and see that.
Do you know Brevis, Ernesto?
Yeah, he was commenting on Coconut's channel, Grinding Coconuts, just yesterday or 2 days. He's been on there recently.
That explains it. So he's okay.
Yeah, he's around. He's been commenting on Grinding Coconuts channel just in the last day or two.
Oh, good. Media, I forgot to ask you the other day. Any news on that Wild Bill character? Is he still around, but laying low, or what?
Look, I'm not 100% sure, Tony, but pretty much the consensus is he's dead.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard from someone else. So I think it's true because it's been about a year. It's been about a year.
Andy on McCann said he was dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember it timed perfectly. Well, not for his sake. When you showed his house, remember back in somewhere in Blackpool or Blackburn or somewhere, and literally days after he disappeared. So that either scared him that you did have the real house. He sort of mocked it that it wasn't his real house. But I think
that was the address that was given to us by the YouTube legal department.
I think now for
as
him
registered to his channel.
Yeah. Now, for him to have disappeared literally at the same time or within a week of that video, it says, that it was his place. And he's either completely said, wow, the game is up.
Tony, you're on the wrong track completely. You're on the wrong track completely, Tony. You've misunderstood the whole thing. It wasn't his house. That is the registered address that YouTube Legal say is the registered address for the Wild Bill and the Miss Trans channel. That is a picture of the house and the address of where he said where the YouTube Legal have the registered address of the Wild Bill and the Miss Trans YouTube channels. So we contacted the person at that address through Northumbria Police. And we told them that address and his name had been used by a character called Wild Bill and Miss Trans on the internet, and he can contact YouTube Legal and find out that he's stolen their identity and that address to register his fake YouTube filthy, disgusting channel. So then I said, you should get a hold of Northumbria Police and have the guy charged under the cybercrime laws of Britain. And I'm thinking that's what he did. They've grabbed him, and I'm thinking he's either dead or he's in prison.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I just, it's probably passed away. Oh, well.
Because the guy that owns that house didn't know anything about it. Never heard of the Wild Bill channel, never heard of the Miss Trans channel, didn't have that. The police investigated it. The British police in Northumbria investigated it. He was totally innocent. Wild Bill had stolen his identity to register the channel in YouTube, and that's what we got confirmed by YouTube Legal Department. So when I got a hold of the bloke and said, listen, take this to Northumbria Police for cybercrime, identity theft, mate, he wasn't going to fuck around. But I got a hold of the police station closest to that address in Northumbria, and I sent them texts, but they never replied because they're not allowed to. The police don't discuss cases with a third person, someone in Australia. They're not going to tell me nothing. But whoever, the guy that lives there, he knew nothing about it. He'd never heard of. He was not into YouTube. He'd never heard of Wild Bill. He didn't know anything about what was going on, and he agreed that he would go to the Northumbria Police and lay a charge of identity theft and cybercrime against Wild Bill, and that's what happened. But they never got back to me with the details because I'm not involved in this. They only discuss it with the people involved, and I'm not. I was just a complainant. So,
hey, Ernesto, where are you situated?
Oh my God! At? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa.
I'm over in the U.S.
Have a great night, Mr. Jeff. I'm going to show myself around. I'm going to listen to Johnny Siam. He's also. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. For those of you who don't know Vanessa, she's an amazing Filipina. She has done amazing things with her life and her career. She's a new mum. Shout out to your little bubs and to your husband. I'm not going to say too much about Vanessa. Her private business is hers, and I'm not going to advertise it all over, but she's been a huge help to me and my channel. Behind the scenes, I'm not going to discuss why, but to see you, Vanessa, thank you so much. Everything is great. As you can see, Vanessa is a managing moderator on this channel. She's actually got full access to this channel. She's a tech expert, and she really helps me out with a lot. But I'm not gonna give background on that. That's up to Vanessa. If she wants to tell the channel how she's involved and who she's involved with, that's up to her, not me. I don't give out personal details on people.
Is Johnny Siam still doing his trivia Wednesday?
He's on live now. I've just got if you see this, Vanessa saying that Johnny's actually live at the moment. So, yeah.
No, he doesn't do trivia anymore. Just does
No, he has.
just
He's
live
only
chat
just come
every
back.
Saturday night.
Yeah, he's only just come back recently. He had a break for a while, but he's now back on and live tonight. So that's good to know. It's always a blast going on Johnny's channel. That they're very irreverent but topical people. I mean, you know, if you swear, you swear. If you say something that other people might get the shits about, there's nothing politically correct about Johnny Siam. He's straight down the line, in your face, no mucking around. You know exactly where you stand with Johnny Siam.
Hey, Ernesto, where in the US are you?
California, my man.
Ah, California. What city can you say?
I'm in Southern California.
Well, so is Jeffrey. One of I had. Do you know Half Moon Bay? About 30 minutes out of Los Angeles.
I know where Half Moon Bay is.
Los Angeles or San Francisco? Yeah.
Yeah. I know where Half Moon Bay is.
All the way from Half Moon Bay, California, came down and spent a couple of days with us.
He's from San Francisco. San Francisco, wasn't it?
Yeah, Half Moon Bay is well up there. It's it's almost Northern California, really.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, what happened, Ernesto, is I threw open an open invitation to anybody on the channel. If you come to Australia and you want a holiday on the north coast of New South Wales around Brisbane, I'll pick you up at the airport, put you up, and until you go back, and I'll travel you around, and you can stay in my house, and we'll do all this. Nobody believed me, and then Jeff said, "Bugger it, I'm going to go." And all his friends said, "You're an idiot. You're going to end up alone, stuck at Brisbane Airport. Nobody gives you a free holiday." And I said, "Well, it's not a free holiday. You pay for your airfare. I'll pick you up. You can come stay with me. I'll show you around. It won't cost you a penny. You don't have to give me any money, and we'll show you our slice of Australia." And Jeff, he couldn't believe it. And so that's what happened. So anytime you want to come down to Australia, I'll meet you at Brisbane Airport. I'll pick you up. You don't have to give me a penny. You come stay in my house, which I've got a very nice house. Trust me, I've got a very nice house. And you can have some fun in southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. Mate, you're welcome.
Oh, well, I appreciate the offer. I'll certainly keep that in mind if I get
all it'll cost you is your airfare. Now, Etta Bailey will tell you, I mean, I've offered that, so I've had many. Now, Wade from West Wyalong, this is his second trip up there. Grim Reaper from Adelaide, he's been up here. He's coming back next month. Stay Frosty, I haven't seen Jason for a while, but Stay Frosty from Queensland, he's been down. Had a lot of subscribers come down. There's an open invitation to Tony right here. He knows that he can come anytime. So, mate, I'm like I say, I don't need to. If someone donates money for the Filipinos on this channel, I don't need to steal it. I've got plenty of my own money. I'm generous enough on my own. This channel. Wayne and I sat down and I showed him the analytics because I wanted to be genuine. I don't know why people all of a sudden, when you offer them a deal, it's like my rice land in Cebu. If you want to farm rice land and earn 8 million pesos a year, go for it, whatever you earn. But just give me 10%. I'm not going to charge you X dollars rent or whatever. You're welcome to take my rice land for the whole year, get whatever crops you can out of it, and whatever you make, if you give me 10%, I'll be happy. But Filipinos, everybody thinks it's a con. Everybody thinks it's a scam. Well, yeah. I'm getting 100% of nothing. I'd rather get 10% of something.
Yeah. Hey, Meaty, that's why, because you're such a rare case where when you talk like that, it's exactly the words you speak is exactly nothing more and nothing less. And a lot of people are not used to those type of human beings. When someone says, come to Australia and everything, exactly what you did to Sneaky Devil. I mean, a lot of people say, hang on, where's the catch? Where's the catch? But there's no catch with you, and that's why you're a rare case. You're a rare case. What you see is what you get, and that's why I still follow you. I mean, you're a man's man,
Well, Wayne Grintel is out there now. Now, I don't own or control Wayne Grintel. I've got nothing over him. Now, he's there in the chat now. Now, he just came up and spent a few days here. Wayne, when you got here, did I say, oh, if, it's $50 a night, or you've got to pay me this, or I want that? No, nothing. If I was a cheat and a con man, surely Jeffrey from Harpoon Bay would have got on and said, oh, yeah, I arrived at Brisbane Airport, and he says, well, unless you give me this much money or that, you've got to pay for petrol, you've got to pay for food, you've got to pay for accommodation, or I'm leaving you here at the airport. No. The deal was, if you want a holiday down, come down, I'll pick you up at the airport, and from the time the minute you get into my car, from the minute I drop you off back at the airport, it's going to cost you nothing. And that's exactly what it cost him. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, Meaty, it's a bit like this. If the hog was in your shoes and living in Casino, Australia, in a first world country, with his wife and van, and he offered this, he'd say it. But then you know what he'd do to his guests? He'll say, I want $500 for the week. Bring your own, go and shop your own meals. And when you go back to the airport, catch the bus. I mean, that's what would happen in the end.
Well, like I say, I love meeting new people. I'm just kind of guy that I'm real. I'm genuine. I mean, I don't know why there's not a lot more people like me. I mean, I don't know why everybody thinks that being nice to people is a con. It's not. There's nothing wrong with being nice to people.
But the hard truth out there in this world, there is the majority. It's a 9 out of 10. You're the 1 out of 10, Meaty. All right. There is others like you, but they're the 1 out of 10. 9, there's always a catch. There's something, they're up to something,
There's an easy way to sum up what I do, Tony. It's a really easy way to sum up what I do.
So, and that's Aussie. Tell you what.
Oi, oi. That's it.
Yeah.
That's Aussie. Oi, oi. That's it.
Siggy.
Siggy.
Siggy. Sabu.
I mean, to get to meet somebody from the other side of the world, and I learned so much about America from Jeffrey. You got these preconceived opinions. I mean, what do I know about America? What I see on TV or on YouTube, and that's all bullshit. But I had a real live American with a real good sense of humor who lived there all his life, and I asked him all these questions, and I was finding out 100% about America, the same as he was down here finding out in real time, because he's here, all about Australia. And it was magic. About a month after Jeffrey went home, I get a letter in the mail. I get a parcel. in the mail. And in that parcel was an envelope with 500 Australian dollars. He'd gone to the bank and he got Australian currency.
I thought that was just leftover money or something from when he was there in Australia.
He sent me $500 to say thanks very much for your hospitality. I have never been so blown away, and I refused it. I got a hold of him straight away. I said, Jeff, I can't accept this. I said, I can't accept this. You shouldn't have done this. I'm going to send it back to you. Give me your bank details. I'll put it back in your bank. He said, no. He said, you don't seem to understand. He said, there's nobody in America would do for me what you did for me. He said, it doesn't happen in America. People don't open their homes like you did. It doesn't happen in this country. He said, and all my friends couldn't believe that I went down there and you actually did pick me up from the airport. You did host me. You did run me around all over the place, and you didn't ask for a penny. He said, I'm really happy to send you this money. And he sent me some really nice gifts in the passport. And I was just so amazed. I was really humbled, and I thought, and that's why I'm telling you, these are the quality people that I have on my channel. These are the quality subscribers that I'm so grateful that the internet has introduced me to.
Yeah. A lot of times, I mean, at least for me, I mean, I don't know if other Americans are like this, but what we'll do is I was going to spend $500 on hotel. So I'll just give the money to Jeff that I was going to spend on the hotel because I'm staying at his place. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll take the money that we were going to spend on the hotel and just give it to the person we're staying with anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
Have you seen the videos of my house? when I've
Yeah.
done videos around my house?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I might not be a hotel, but I reckon I can offer just as nice a accommodation as any hotel.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and I mean, not only that, but you've got everything there. You've got, he's got transportation with you. He's got, a back garden to go hang out in. If he wants to do a barbecue, you could probably barbecue.
I tell you what, Wayne was actually sitting here the other day, fascinated with the amount of wildlife in our backyard. He was. Now this is a country boy. Wayne's a really lovely guy. He's a big country boy. He's just a big cuddly bear, and that's why I love him. He's a really nice, down to earth country boy, But he's sitting there, impressed with all the wildlife coming into our backyard. Well, that's my missus. She's filled it up with so many pot plants and flowers, that she's out in the garden every day. And we've got bird feeders and bird bars and all the rest of it. But we've got every kind of wildlife and bird. We've got wild rabbits live in our backyard. They don't go anywhere because we feed them. We chuck out celery sticks and carrots and bits of cauliflower and bread and all that every day. The birds come. The rabbits come. We got all sorts of and she loves it. And Wayne's sitting there. And like I say, this is a country boy. Here we are in the suburbs of Casino, and Wayne's going, but look at these birds. Look, you got that. And I'm going, yeah, Wayne. Yeah, it's cool. But I must say, we're proud of our house. Elaine's very house proud. We're at the moment, our formal lounge room is chock-a-block with there's $16,000 worth of bathroom equipment in there waiting to be installed in the bathroom. The guy that she hired to do it, he's been jerking us around month after month after month. Our formal lounge, it's got all this bathroom equipment. It's just a mess. And I'm getting sick of it. If this guy doesn't turn up, I'm just going to go and get somebody else because we haven't been able to use our formal lounge. Not that we use it anyway, but it just looks a mess, So that's getting done up. And guess what? It's a waste of time, effort, money as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing wrong with our bathroom. It's just that her friend, who's a Filipina up the road, redid her bathroom. So Elaine, being Filipina, has got to compete and keep up and renovate our bathroom.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's got a one-up. Got to do a one-up on them.
All the Filipinos in the contingent are all coming around saying, Jeff, what's this all about? So, Elaine wants to renovate the bathroom. And they're all going, but your bathroom's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. And I go, yeah, but she's Filipino like you are. And they go, oh, no need to explain.
Yeah, instead of it's called keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the Gonzaleses over there. The Filipino Gonzales.
Yeah, it's not normally Elaine's thing, but this particular time, I don't know. She's got this Filipino friend that's and every time she does something, Elaine's got to do something. Now, I'm shitting myself because she just bought a $100,000 Mercedes Benz. Oh fuck, what's coming?
Yeah.
She did
I'll
what?
tell you what, Ernesto, if you ever get a spare bit of shekels, you can get a plane ticket. I tell you what, you go visit Meaty for about 10 days, make it, I tell you what, he won't let you pay for anything. You have a good little holiday, and what you see is what you get. I tell you what.
Yeah, man, that 16-hour, I think it's 18-hour plane ride, man. That fucking scares me.
No, if you're on the
God,
the Los Angeles side, I think you'd be 14 hours. Probably you'll stop in Samoa on the way to on the way to where Meaty is. 14 hours.
Ah, yeah. So I'd go by way of Hawaii, right?
Yeah. You would either stop in Hawaii or Samoa or New Zealand on the way to, because you've got to do one stop before you get to Australia where Meaty is. But if you're on the New York side, there you're talking 18 hours.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. Oh man, I would need It's hard. It's hard going economy like that, man. First class is no problem, right? You get to lay down, but that economy 14 hours, I guess I could do it, but man, that's a tough one.
Well, you can get stopovers in Ernesto, but I'd rather go straight through.
I know they go straight to Sydney. Qantas goes straight to Sydney from LA. I know that for sure.
Yeah, the stopovers just wipe you out. I hate stopovers, mate.
But I don't know about Brisbane. I'd have to go to Brisbane, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, Brisbane's 2 hours up the road. I mean, if you went
Yeah.
to Sydney, you'd have to make your own way out. I'm not driving down to Sydney to pick you up. That's an 11-hour drive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sydney's 1,000 kilometres south. Brisbane is 2 hours north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brisbane Airport, you got to get out. Yeah.
I don't know about where you are in California, Ernesto, but here a 2-3 hour drive is around the corner. We don't mind that. But 11 hours, like for me to go down to Sydney, that's like I'm not going to drive down there and back in the same day. But I'll drive to Brisbane and back, no problem at all. I'll do that standing on my head any day of the week.
Yeah, LA to San Francisco is like 6 to 7 hour drive. LA to San
but you wouldn't
Francisco.
want to drive there, do what you've got to do, then drive back, would you?
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying if
Kiwi said, sorry, Beatty.
I put this open offer to the channel a long time ago. A couple of people have taken it up, and so I can prove what I'm saying is true. Now, if you, Ernesto, decided, okay, I've got a few dollars to spare for an airfare, that's all you need, and I guarantee you that. If you want to come for a break, now the worst thing that you can possibly do when you go overseas, accommodation and transportation and food, that's what costs you. The airfare is nothing. To get to and from, that's fine. But once you get off the plane, you have to pay for everything you do. Everything costs. It doesn't matter what you do, everything costs. A bottle of water, anything, any food, drink, accommodation, you got to pay for. Transport, travel, bus, train, taxi, hire car, you got to pay for. Well, my deal to you is this. Get your airfare. I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll take you around until you get back on the plane. You don't have to spend a cent. That's exactly what happened with Jeffrey. That's exactly what happened with Wayne when he just come up. That's my offer to you, because it doesn't cost me anything to do that. I mean, I get to meet you. I get to go for a drive to pick you up from the airport, bring you back. I'm happy to do that. It doesn't cost me anything extra to have you in my house. I mean, you're not putting me out. It's not creating a bill. And I get to have the experience of meeting someone from overseas and learning new shit.
And all you have to do when you get to Brisbane Airport, in order for Meaty to know who you are, is scream out, Meaty!
Cutting out on me. I'm losing signal.
But anytime you want to come down under for a holiday, mate, it's only going to cost you airfare. You give me a call. Done deal.
Okay. I appreciate the offer. I'll have to definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Well, I've thrown the offer open to the channel. Everybody knows it's there. Blah, blah, blah. Now, Mike knows what's going on. Mike's saying it's 16 and a half hours non-stop New York to Manila. Holy shit. Only to Manila. And then it's 8 hours from Manila. So, Mike, that's a hell of a trip, mate. That's a hell of a trip. Yeah. That's a hell of a trip. But again, sorry, I didn't finish. Just a huge shout out to Vanessa. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you don't know her like I know her. This woman is the salt of the earth. She's an amazing Filipina. And I'm just so glad that, again, another quality person that I've known and met through the internet. And she is an amazing woman. And there are a few other Aussies who can back me up on that. Absolutely wonderful to know this young lady. So that's 16 and a half hours, mate. You sure? From New York to Manila, 16 and a half hours. I thought it was only about 18 or 19 hours from New York to Sydney.
Probably to get to Australia. So it's 2 hours less to get
a bloody
to
long time anyway. But I'd rather do that. I'd rather do the one trip. Fuck the stopovers. Sick of it. That's why Jetstar are now going Brisbane Cebu direct. But they're charging like a wounded bull for it. I mean, it's not cost efficient. Yeah, it's great that you can get on the plane at Brisbane and go straight to Cebu. It only takes 8 hours instead of stopping over in Hong Kong or Singapore or whatever. But they want $1,550 for the return trip. I can get a return trip to Cebu on Cathay Pacific or all sorts of different airlines for $900 with meals and entertainment and a good baggage allowance. Now, this Jetstar thing, they want $1,550. There's no entertainment. There's no movies, no nothing. It's got a pathetically ridiculous 7 kilo baggage limit, and it's got no entertainment, no food, you know, and fuck it, and you're paying all that extra money. Well, listen, look, I'm not tight, but I'm not stupid either. That extra $600 I could save for a 2-hour stopover in Changi at Singapore, $600 in the Philippines, that's a shitload of money. That's 3 weeks accommodation and a reasonable, you know, like if you go to Cebu and you go to the Elegant Circle Inn on Osmeña Boulevard, which is a really nice hotel, there's nothing wrong. It's slap bang in the middle of Cebu. They're only 1,000 pesos a night. $600 is over 20,000 pesos. That's 20 nights accommodation. Why, you know, for just, and you can save that by doing a 2-hour stopover instead of getting a direct flight with Jetstar. Fuck Jetstar, they're idiots. Couldn't be bothered. It was really great to hear the news that flight was there. But when you see that you get no food, the baggage allowance is shit, you get no entertainment, and the fares through the roof, fuck them, they can stick it up their ass.
Do you have to stand up or do you get a seat?
Mate, the budget airline, like that Scoot, we've got this crap. Qantas have got this budget airline called Scoot, SCOOT, and it is they have designed airline seats that are that wide.
Hey,
that far from the bloke next to you and in front of you. You're squashed in like a fucking sardine. They put the price of it through the roof. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just, you know, what do they think we are? You know?
Scoot is not a Qantas budget airline. It's a Singapore budget airline.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, the best airline ever, when we went over to Europe, we went Qatar Airways. And we stopped in Doha, Qatar. But, mate, that Qatar Airlines flight that we went, and this was only economy, I felt like I was a king. That was incredible. That was I mean, it made Air New Zealand and Qantas look like fucking scum class. Qatar Airways was absolutely brilliant. The food was out of this world. It was like going to a restaurant. It wasn't airline food. Anything you wanted, you walked up to the air, you know, the flight attendants. Doesn't matter what you wanted. They were happy to give you 3 of them. They couldn't help you enough. It was amazing. It was comfortable. It was clean. The entertainment was great. The food was great. The booze just kept coming. The seats were great. You know, it was just an amazing flight. And the tickets were cheap. Yeah, Doha airport. I got the shock of my life because there wasn't one security guard in Doha airport. Not one guy with a gun. And I said to the guy in the shop, I said, hey, you got no security here. He said, are you stupid? He said, you do anything stupid here, you'll be dragged out on the tarmac and your head chopped off. We don't need.
You could probably leave your wallet out. They won't even take it.
Yeah. He said, you can leave everything you've got, all your money on the table and walk around and no one will touch it. And if they do, they'll be taken out and they'll have their head chopped off. Don't worry about that.
I'll tell you what, in Japan, you can leave anything. You could go back the next day. Your bag will still be there exactly where you left it.
Oh,
that's
man.
Japan, that's amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love
in Japan. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that long, Mike. I thought it was. I thought it was only like that distance to that amount of hours to
Japan. If you've not been to Japan, it is quite a place to go to. You can't understand it till you get there, but the people are just so respectful. You can't understand the level of respect.
Yeah.
And
Singapore. Yeah, they're great. The service and the customer service. Yeah, you're right. Brilliant. 100%.
He's talking Japan, the meeting.
Yeah, Japan.
Oh, Japan. Yeah. Two-faced little bastards.
You get on the train.
You know what?
Nobody talks. It's silent. Nobody's talking. Like nobody's. Everything's so orderly, and everybody polices themselves. Like everybody kind of takes their own behavior, and nobody like acting out of line. Everyone's just like, it just functions so perfectly there, man.
That they are the definition. Not only they're a cultured people for centuries, so it's been cultivated. It's not a sudden thing where you get suddenly a third world country becomes a first world country, but the people still haven't caught up to that to a country's success. Whereas in Japan, it's centuries of like pruned. The people have been pruned like a bonsai plant. Everyone knows their place. They're like a beehive where they all are the bees serving the queen. Everyone's got their spot. They're punctual. They're on time. And you can leave a bag, because my family members were there just last year. And they say you can leave let's say your suitcase, you can forget it somewhere. You'll go the next day, it's still in the same spot. No one's attempted to have a look inside to see if there's money or jewelry or anything inside. Nothing. They're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, vending machines are wild too. Everything's in a vending machine almost. Like you can't get away from the vending machines.
Look, this is going to sound a bit twisted, and don't get me wrong, don't take me the wrong way, but do you know the weirdest thing that you can get out of a vending machine in Japan? The weirdest, strangest, craziest thing.
I know what you're talking about, because I saw a documentary on it once. Knickers.
Japanese schoolgirl panties.
Knickers. Yeah.
No, serious. Ernesto, you can buy, and
it's true. It's true.
It's mental in Japan.
Yeah.
Japanese schoolgirl panties. You can buy them from vending machines. I mean, it's crazy.
Well,
don't tell. They're about 20. Yeah.
Hey, don't tell Andy on Mac 10. He'll be on the next one smoking over there.
Well,
He'll be on the next one smoking.
Boss,
that's why they call Dave Tilapia panty sniffer.
I forgot about Dave the panty sniffer.
Oh, fuck. I tell you what.
The attitude towards sex in Japan is really liberal. Like, Japanese parents will give their 13-year-old daughter a dildo for their birthday. They call it a harigata.
I don't think
it's usually made out of wood.
Oh,
but
man.
They will give their teenage, because the Japanese way
I think you were in Mexico.
Well,
I don't think that's true, Meanie. I don't know whether you heard that, but I have heard. I saw a little documentary where there was some British. It was like almost like a Vice channel, the Vice channel, where weird documentaries, and they did have one where they had 16, 17, 18-year-old high school students, vending machines where they would wear them for like an hour, and then it would be like the equivalent of $20. And guess who were the main customers? Literally businessmen in suits and ties with briefcases. They interviewed a couple, they blanked out their eyes, but the rest of them, and they say, I'm on my way home from a hard day's work in the office. I've stopped to buy a packet. It comes in a sealed plastic bag. He puts in the equipment. I don't know how much you get, and out drops a bag of high school girls' knickers. Yeah, and he says, well, that's me, after dinner mint.
My son and daughter's high school in Sydney had exchange students from Japan about 3 times a year. And there was a company that organised billeting the students out, and you could apply and have the students in your home, and they actually paid you to billet the students. So anyway, me and Elaine thought this was a good idea. And so the kids would have, some access to other Asians from around the world, blah, blah, blah. So we started billeting these kids. The first 2 lots we had were boys, and they were quite sedate, and it was amazing how polite they are. But anyway, the 3rd lot we had were girls, and they were the ones that actually told us about the harigata. They were the ones that told us about, and they were quite open about it. These were 13-year-old schoolgirls were quite happy to tell us that, they use the harigata to relieve themselves for their for their harmony.
Yeah.
Because
in Japan, just to clarify that the documentary, what they said, it was 17 and 18. No one younger than 17.
If you don't have sexual release in Japan, you've got all sorts of mental problems and stress, and you've got to relieve your sexual tension. A lot of Japanese couples will swing, like you go around and you meet a Japanese couple and you stay in their house for a couple of days, he'll offer you the wife because you need stress relief. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
No, seriously. I'm not joking. This is true. The truth. You look it up on the internet. I've got a nephew who's an English teacher in Japan. He's lived there for about 30 years. He's a full-on Japanese citizen. He's married to a Japanese woman, and he tells me all the, like It's true. It's their attitude towards sex is amazing. They're so open. You think the Sweden, hello, my name's Karen. Do you want to have sex with me? No, there's nothing, mate. The Japanese, they're really open about it.
Well, you just have to look at the art over the centuries. They've done paintings literally with those geisha girls, undressed with phalluses, phalluses, pottery with phalluses, literally a lot of art. Yeah. So it is different from what where we come from, where Christianity sort of like tightened up, made cultures to be, it's blasphemous. Whereas in the Far East, where no Christianity had come at that time, they were doing it in art, especially the Japanese. So you're right, in paintings, in pottery, they would do phalluses and women, getting it, doggies and all that. But just the documentary, that was 17 and 18 onwards. They weren't under that. And to us, it's seen as, that's weird. I mean, who would go and pay for, schoolgirl knickers? You'd wait for at least a 20-year-old. But it's weird stuff in Japan. But when I saw that documentary, I couldn't believe it. Here you'd call the cops on them. They're pedophiles for doing that. But businessmen in suits and briefcases literally are the biggest customers. Yeah. Anyway, Meaty, I'll hop off and I'll stay in the background. Good night, Ernesto.
Hey, good night. I gotta run too, man. This is a good spot for me to bow out too. I gotta get my day started here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got morning there.
Yeah.
Well, we've all learned a lot about different things and had a really great chat. And like, there's 3 hours, 45 minutes. I mean, I was only going to come on here for half an hour. I just want to say thanks to everybody. It's amazing how the time on my live streams goes. Stacey, thank you for taking down that Facebook page.
Good you, Stacey.
Yeah, don't be deluded by whoever's pulling your strings to think that you're going to get away with doing it on other places. Because I will sue your bosses if you continue. I will delete anything on you that you're unhappy with. I will get rid of it in return. Just drop it, and I will too, because it's doing nobody any good. It's doing nobody any good, and Lisa and Michael Chappell are doing them no good at all, and they will agree with that. Talk to your
Ernesto. Yeah. Before we leave, when Meaty's finished, we got to do 2 bars of Siggy, ooh, ooh, and we'll drop out. All right?
Okay.
Oh, we can do that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another fantastic live stream. Ernesto, thank you for coming on. Tony, as always, keeping me honest. It was great to see Vanessa tonight. Etta, always lovely to have a Christian lady, because everybody knows I'm a heathen swine. Why Etta bothers with a heathen swine like me, I don't know, but thank you very much for that. Great to see Mike Dowdy again, and again thank you to Mike for the information that he's passed on to me that's made this week really special for me. All the people that have joined in, thank you so much. Remember that if anybody feels so inclined to help out a lot of Filipinos in the barangays around Cebu, you can donate to the channel. You all know that it will go there. You all now know that when GD tells you he doesn't need him, I've told the New Zealand government to stick it up your ass. I don't need your money. That's genuine. That's real. Wayne was here when I actually filled those papers in. He knows what I'm talking about. GD doesn't need to take money out of this channel for anything. I mean, like you say, I've just told them to stick their pension up their ass, because I'm not a New Zealander anymore. I'm a skip. I'm an Australian. I've been here 45 years. New Zealand is a foreign country to me. I don't want their pension. I don't want their money. I don't want to be involved with them. I'm not interested. Now, if I was this scumbag on the internet trying to fleece everybody, if I was a scammer, then I would be taking that money. You all saw me open it. I was all ready to go in the mail on Monday, sealed back to the Services Australia to tell them to stick their money up their ass. Well, is that the action of a scammer? Is that the action of an e-beggar? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. But you all saw it live here. That's the kind of guy I am. You've all shown and seen me offer people around the world a free holiday. All they need is their airfare to come to Brisbane Airport, and I will pick them up and I will host them, as I have already done. So does that sound like a guy who needs to rip people off? No.
No, Meanie. We're going to sing the last two bars. You ready?
All right, ready? A one.
And here we go,
two,
ladies and
a
gentlemen.
1, 2,
As
3,
usual,
4.
Siggy,
Siggy,
Siggy.
Siggy. Ooh,
Ooh, I
ooh.
hey,
say,
Siggy,
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 Siggy.
ooh,
Saboo, Saboo.
Siggy, Siggy,
Siggy.
ooh,
Ooh, ooh. I
Ladies
said,
and gentlemen,
See you,
salama, and we will
Stacey.
catch you next time. Bye now.
all right,
See
cheers,
you,
mate.
everyone.